Man, that was an absolute amazing interview with Trevor Outlaw, man. Could that have been any more funnier, man? The banter between AJ and Trevor
No,
alone between those two was amazing.
nope, hurt my feelings. The whole thing hurt my feelings. I don't know why I'm wearing a Trevor Outlaw mask right now.
You are.
Go buy his stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I tell you what, if you didn't celebrate September 20th 2 days ago, then there's something wrong with you.
September 20th. It was
That's right.
a great day
It's
for
a
everyone.
it's a date that AJ definitely put in his pocketbook.
It's on my calendar from here on out. September.
Apparently, it's a big holiday, and we've been forewarned about it now to celebrate it from now on. But
We've been threatened that we have to celebrate it now from now on.
it was absolutely amazing and
Yeah.
fun to have Trevor on the show. Don't call him Tyler, by the way. If you just listen
No,
to that.
call him Tyler.
And he's not a Cubs fan.
By the way, I felt ruder when I had that mask on. Like I wanted to start yelling at
Yours rudely.
bozos.
And call everybody bozos.
You bozos.
I love that. We want to thank Trevor for being on the show. We had, or the boys had a good time with him. I hope to catch him next time. But make sure you go check out Trevor Outlaw, all his social medias. We'll be seeing him soon here on a show around the way. Thank you once again, Trevor, for the interview. Welcome everybody to episode number 29. What's up, fellas?
29.
What is up?
29, man. One under 30.
episodes. I can't believe it.
We're getting up there.
30 episodes is next week. Oh my goodness. Yeah, if you're listening to us this far, thank you. If you've been with us since the beginning, thank you. And we're just gonna keep on going.
Yeah, we definitely are. So Primo is looking a little bit different here today. If you're able to watch on the Twitch stream right now, Primo, explain to the fans what your face looks like right now.
Well, it's beautiful.
It is.
Well, that's on a regular basis.
But anyway, if you ever seen Sugar Skull, Day of the Dead Skull, whatever you want to call it,
Dia de los Muertos.
I didn't want to be an idiot, and some people may not know what that means. But yes, Dia de los Muertos. I have my face painted in such a manner.
Mr. Lawrence.
Of this month.
Your eyebrows down because it
You know why?
looked like confused.
Go episode number 20. Tuning in, download girls, and producer.
And for how many days? Sit down, my awesome brother to see.
Appreciate Jet Show, the only you local broads here. Big
Business.
AJ.
Big.
And like, I get it right in my top 5.
Set and ready to hit that you see there today. Anything you need for to make you feel like it's still summer when that fall and winter time is rolling in. So Coastland Apparel, use promo code BIRDTV, BIRDTV for 15% off your order. I also want to thank everyone listening right now on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Prime Music, Audible, anywhere you get your podcasts, and obviously our partners, our family, our boys, the number one sports show, Thomas Bryce and the boys down at Sports Wire, and everybody else out there, all our family of podcast friends and ladies, everybody there, appreciate them as well, as we are on with them every Friday at 6:45, 6:15 to 6:45, sometimes here lately, right before the Thomas Bryce show. So let's get this show kind of kicked off here. Primo, what's going on this day in wrestling history and birthdays?
This day in wrestling history,
Whose game is it?
Primo's game, baby.
We get to laugh at you now because your mouth.
September 22nd.
Picture of your face tomorrow, so
that's today for those those marks out there that are listening. You messed up my whole thing. Anyway, September 22nd. Today, this day in wrestling history, 1997. No, okay, this is actually really good. Right. 1997, WWF Raw Is War had two of Raw's greatest moments.
Ooh.
First of all, on that night, we had the debut of Cactus Jack on WWF television for the first time.
And
when he went against Triple H in a street fight.
That was 1997?
On that same night,
Weird.
on the same night,
CW for
or on
Yeah.
the same Monday Night Raw episode, Stone Cold Steve Austin stunned Vince McMahon for the first time to ignite their historic feud.
Oh, the whole start.
Yeah.
The
So that
whole
was a big
beginning.
night for Raw. That was like a
It
big Raw.
was. Wow.
Now, my second part of this day in wrestling history. Also in 1997, also on a Monday night, on the exact same night as this Monday night, as that was going on, we also had WCW Nitro happening with the debut of Goldberg.
Wow. I remember that. I mean, not really, like it doesn't stick in my mind, but I remember them pumping up Goldberg and, and he was, that was.
I remember.
Against Hugh Morris.
Hugh Morris, thank you. I remember that actually. And I was like,
That was
who is
that
this
was his
bald
first
man?
match.
Oh, he's awesome.
Wow.
And now he's all old and
I
hardy.
was in the house when he beat Hogan for the title.
Wait, were you really?
Yes, I was. That was in the Georgia Dome in Atlanta.
That's one of my favorite matches ever.
Me being the heel I was pulling for Hogan back then. I knew what was going to happen. It was inevitable. I just wasn't. I like the heels. But anyway, I just want to tell you though, I was second to last row from the top of that place. The ring looked like an inch. You know what I mean? But it was cool, man. It was a cool eruption. Because it started to build once he hit the spear to the jackhammer.
My friend,
it started. It was loud.
My friend and I suplexed his recliner in his basement because we were watching it. We were like in freshmen in high school or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like 8th grade or something, and like we picked up his recliner and suplexed it, and then his mom got mad at us. That's my story about when he beat.
Well, yours is way better than mine.
Yeah, I was in the crowd. I suplexed a recliner.
A really cool moment, though. We all knew what was going to happen. Like it was a cool atmosphere. Let's put it that way. Cool atmosphere. What's next, Primo?
This wrestling birthdays. We have 1980. Nick Gage.
Nick effing. Well, we can say it now. Fucking Gage.
Yeah,
That's right. Nick fucking Gage.
Nick effing Gage.
MDK all day. That's right.
The name of it.
I didn't know he was bored. I thought he just kind of.
He just ended up murder, death, killing everybody.
Yeah, he was just like glomming into existence.
Yeah.
And then murdering people.
Yeah.
Somebody who could actually murder somebody. 1974, Bob Sapp.
The big. He was like the big pride
football,
fighter.
MMA.
Football, MMA. Yeah. Big, huge dude. He was killing people.
Another big, huge dude. 1971, Luther Reigns.
Luther Reigns. Yeah. He was with.
Short time.
Yeah, short time. He was. I actually seen him at a hotel one night.
Wait, the Luther Reigns?
I came down and he was.
I don't know who
he
he
was
is.
getting coffee.
Early 2000 SmackDown.
He was getting coffee and I was in there with him. Yeah, he was a pretty big dude, man. I was trying to think, like, what was his gimmick? Like, he was with somebody.
Being forgettable?
Heidenreich? No, he wasn't with Heidenreich, but he was around there during that time.
Yeah, it was right during that time. Yeah.
I remember Heidenreich.
Okay.
Move forward about 30 years. 1942. Ole Anderson.
Ole. Yes.
Oh, the baddest of the bad right there, man.
I loved Ole Anderson.
Nobody fucked with Ole.
You know that wasn't he the voice of, since we did gimmicks last week, wasn't he the voice of Shockmaster? Like, wasn't he on like the microphone speaking
doing
Shockmasters? Yeah, wasn't that him?
I don't know if it was or not.
I think that might be
that'd be a cool trivia.
That was probably the beginning of the end, if it was.
And that is this day in wrestling history, September 22nd.
Nice. I like it. I always like to see who's born on these days when we have the podcast. AJ, what's going on? Any wrestling in the headlines?
We do. I'm going to start with, which is very, very sad, your boy, Sammy Callahan.
All right, let's hear it, because I don't know what's happened yet. The boy said something happened. Let's lay it on me, man. Lay it on me.
He not only
don't be nothing bad.
He broke his ankle, tibia, and fibula.
No.
He's gonna be out until mid 2022.
No.
So yeah, he's done for a while. For all you non-medical marks out there, the tibia and the fibula the tibia and the fibula are the lower bones, are the bones of your lower,
man.
like your shin
Your
bone
shin,
and stuff.
yeah.
So
when they say when it happened, like in tapings or
I don't
in
like.
the
I
indie
saw
show?
this. I saw the story this morning, so it
Man.
had to have been very recent. So yeah, he's out until mid 2022.
Oh man, that sucks. So I mean, I hate that with anybody, but he had stuff planned. He's got a promotion in Iowa, or that runs in Ohio. I think it's called Wrestling Revolver, and him and Mox were getting back together to be on that card. Man, God, we're losing such a big heel here, man. But when
I knew
he
you would
comes
take
back,
that one especially hard.
Yeah, I'm probably done for the rest of the podcast, so we'll just step aside here. Let you guys. Man, that sucks. Man, that sucks. I didn't see that today, but man, everybody knows that listen to podcasts. Sammy's one of my favorite. Get well, get better, Sammy. We'll see you soon, man.
Get
the
well,
wrestling world will miss you.
Fix your leg.
Especially me. Until then, hurry back.
So, in happier medical news, Triple H released a statement on his current status.
Time to play the game.
He said, "Thank you, Primo."
Yeah, he did specifically. He was like, "I wouldn't have pulled through without the wishes from Primo Silver Fox.
You playing?
Please paint your face next week in support."
Here I am.
He actually, so he's recovering, doing well. He thanked the NXT crew and Shawn Michaels, who really should be in some hot water right now. Segue, look at me go into that. Ramifications and fallout from the last Dark Side of the Ring episode, which we'll get into later. It was about the plane ride from hell. Immediately, though, Tommy Dreamer got suspended from Impact because of some of the more questionable things that he said during the show.
And a few indie shows have dropped him as well.
And his own podcast.
His own podcast dropped
Busted
him.
Open took him off too.
He's released a couple of statements since then saying, he apologizes for what he said and
didn't seem too apologetic when he said it.
No, he was like, again, we'll get into it later.
I mean, the Dark Side of the Ring, it's a double-edged sword, man.
It is.
You just gotta you're gonna be on worldwide television. Know what the hell you're saying.
Yeah. The story, it's stories that we want to hear, but at the same time, it's stories we don't want to hear.
That's fine. We'll get into it later.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. Interesting though.
So, what else do I have? Grand Metalik is asking for his release from the WWE. That's according to Mas Lucha. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but he hasn't been doing anything for God knows how long. He's a super talented guy, so he's asking for
now he's only like halfway Metalik.
He's half a grand. He's 500.
He's Manos Metalik.
Yeah.
So, this one actually made me laugh. So, with the current crop of WWE performers who have their contracts expiring soon, they've all been tweeting out, cryptic tweets about their future. Well, Sami Zayn took that to heart and just tweeted out, and I quote, "Cryptic tweet about my future," end quote. And that was it. So that made me laugh. So who knows what he's going to do? Probably.
That's great. Everybody, he's so clever.
He's awesome.
Like,
I bet he'll read.
Everybody's dropping these cryptic tweets, and he just puts it out there.
Cryptic tweet about
some
my
kid
future.
some kid on Squared Circle Reddit today posted that he found an El Generico mask inside of a trophy shelf in his high school.
Really?
Nice.
I can totally see Sami Zayn going somewhere else, by the way. I mean, because he doesn't like, again, this is allegedly like his, like WWE's business dealings with Saudi Arabia, and Sami Zayn is very aware and I can't think of the word that I'm looking for.
Woke.
Yes.
Activist?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah.
Especially, and he's been very
he seems less corporate than a lot of these guys.
Yes, so I can see him going elsewhere. But anyways, that's just speculation. And finally, this is kind of cool. The Owen Hart Foundation is now under the AEW banner, which that was interesting to me. I didn't read much about that. I just heard about it, right before the show started. So,
yeah. Well, I believe it was Owen's family. They never had a problem with WWE. They always had a problem with Vince.
mm-hmm.
And so this is kind of a win-win for everyone. And sounds like it's a really cool deal. A lot of the guys are happy about it. And she was happy to sign with AEW as, for the foundation. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Speaking of Vince, really quick, so his vision for NXT 2.0 is pretty much the same as 1998 WWF. Like, so he thinks the future is past WWE. Like, he wants to make it edgier. He wants the women to wear skimpier clothing. Like, he wants more cussing. And again, this is all, he allegedly said this. Like, so who knows? But that's the rumor right now, that he wants an
edgier product again.
An edgier product with more big men that he can over.
Yeah.
Look at the big wow. That's what I got for news, notes, headlines. Yeah.
All right. Another thing we're doing here is we call the Sit Down Marks fan shout out. What we're going to do is we're going to ask anybody listening out there in the masses, if you listen to the Sit Down Marks podcast, DM us on Twitter, Facebook, anywhere you see us, and let us know where and when you listen to the podcast. We just like to know where everybody's listening from and what time of the day you're listening, or any of that kind of stuff. So tweet us, let us know at the Sit Down Marks podcast. Today, here in our very first episode, we're going to put a shine on Aaron from Champaign, Illinois. He is one of our listeners, and he said that he is a big fan of the podcast. He listens to us on his way into work and back at all hours of the night. So thank you, Aaron, for listening. We really appreciate it. Champaign, Illinois. Give Aaron a shout out, boys.
That's right, Aaron. Thank you for listening to us, for listening to all three of us, especially the champ here, Primo. I'm going to give you your own personal shout out. Thank you, Aaron.
Thanks.
AJ. AJ.
Aaron, awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening. Thanks for keeping on tuning in. And does he have a Twitter? I meant to do that earlier because I wanted to plug his Twitter.
Yeah, maybe we'll go back, put in, and we'll put the Twitter. But thanks, Aaron, for following the podcast.
Follow him on Twitter at Enter Twitter Here.
I think it's Illini Aaron. I think that's what it is. I'm not sure. Well, I'll check with him. Welcome to the show, everybody. Let's talk about episode 29 today. We're going to talk about the week in wrestling. Our Dropkick discussion is a fun one. We're going to talk about our top 5 favorite wrestler finishers of all time. Finishing moves, from anything from the jackhammer to the stunner to the snake, the RKO. So we're going to try to put into a category our top 5. Squared Circle Questions is back. Primo is going to put trivia on me and AJ. We got Extreme Rules coming up this Sunday. We got a lot of indie shows this week we're going to talk about. We got a big UFC show to talk about this weekend, Volkanovski versus Ortega. We're going to talk about that right at the end of the show. So let's get this thing cranked up, man. What do you say, AJ? AEW Dynamite, man. Get us rolling.
Let's roll. So, AEW Dynamite on the 15th of September. CM Punk on commentary all night long. He did awesome. He could sit silently and say 2 words every hour.
I wouldn't say it was all night long.
He's on fire, man.
It was all night long.
All night long.
All night. So the show kicks off, and I'm sorry. This is a really good episode of AEW, and I feel like saying that's redundant, but it really was. So the show kicks off with Adam Cole's in-ring debut. The crowd is going nuts for him. They don't give a shit that he's a heel. They just want to cheer Adam Cole. And his first match is against Frankie Kazarian. So all I have is moves by Frankie, moves by Cole. Just awesome back and forth that was happening. At one point, Frankie catches Cole's leg, like he's going for a super kick, and he catches his leg and turns it into his German suplex, which is so cool.
Say something real quick, man. I thought it was so funny. Adam Cole's smile when he gets up on the ring to do the thumb. When he goes to do that, man, the smile of like, I'm in fucking AEW, man. It was hilarious. Like, it was just like, a small snicker, but enough to make me laugh. Like he couldn't hold it back, man. And I love little things about wrestling like that, man. You know what I mean? Like, who knows what he was thinking at the time, but he never smiles during that. You know what I mean? And for this to be his first match, and he does it. It was funny to me.
It was. I enjoyed that quite a bit because it's one of those moments where he tried to hide it, but he couldn't really hide it. So it was an organic moment that happened. It was very nice. So anyways, like after the German suplex, obviously Adam Cole is going to get the win here. He beats Frankie Kazarian. Good match. I mean, of course, it's Adam Cole and Frankie Kazarian. Frankie Kazarian can still do all the things that he did 20 years ago. He's very impressive.
Can.
Up next, see Butcher and the Blade set up for the title match on Rampage. So they're going to obviously have a match with Lucha Bros. Yeah.
Butcher and the Blade.
I
like their entrance music.
I don't like them, though. Like the Butcher and the Blade. So they own a butcher's
shop. It's hard to take them seriously.
It is. Like, you guys are ridiculous.
Butcher and the Blade.
I think today was Blade and Bunny's anniversary.
Really?
Yeah.
They're married? Why would you marry someone named the Blade?
I don't know, but I was
just asking for trouble.
Somebody named Bunny.
I guess so. Yeah.
Sounds like a stripper and a butcher.
She's cute as hell.
Yes. she is rather cute.
She does the like sideways death stare. Like,
she's just crazy enough for me.
Learning a lot about Mrs. Primo right now. Apparently she's a little bit crazy. Up next, Fuego del Sol. He bets his car in another match with Miro. Awesome.
God, this is awesome, man.
It's so stupid. I loved it. He's like, I just got this new car. I'm gonna put it up so I can.
It was so silly. Yeah,
it was. It's the right kind of bollocks. So up next, MJF is just amazing. He is the best heel. I know everyone's going to be like, Roman Reigns. No, I think
MJF is probably the best heel right now.
Roman's tinkering. You know what I mean?
He's still awesome, but MJF isn't getting stale. He just keeps getting better. Roman is getting a little, you're still awesome, but there's nothing new.
I think Roman's star power is getting overshadowed by other names.
Yes, I agree. It is. So MJF cuts this just awesome promo. He talks to Brian Pillman, not PB&J, but Brian Pillman, and he looks at the ground as if
he starts to look at him and he goes, "Oh, what am I kidding?"
Oh hell, who am I kidding? And he starts. Oh man, that was
implying that Pillman was in hell.
It was good heel shit.
What? That was amazing. So of course that brings out PB&J and.
BPJ, put some respect on his name, AJ. His initials.
So PB&J.
His initials.
So Peanut Butter and Jelly comes out to the ring. And, Wardlow, and he manages to chase off Wardlow and MJF. I look forward, by the way, to the feud between Wardlow and MJF. I think that's going to be so cool when they finally turn Wardlow face.
They're planting seeds right now.
Yes, they are. But yeah, MJF basically threatens to murder Brian Pillman Jr., which is just great heel work all over the place. And then later on, he had Pillman Jr. had an interview with JR, and he's getting better. Like, did you guys notice he's getting better and better on the mic? Like, I really like.
Tell us
promo.
What he's working on. Yeah,
he was great. So, I mean, not great, but leagues above where he was, 5 months ago.
Let's go.
Up next is FTR versus Dante Martin.
Hold on, real quick. Yes. Sorry. Two things. Did you see MJF's tweet this morning? He said he tweeted out this morning, "Today, as I wake up, I realize that I'm heading to rat-infested Queens to wrestle in front of a capacity crowd of people who all wish they were me, to share a ring with Brian Pillman Jr., the product of methany. Kill me."
Oh yeah.
God.
And then his mom posted this picture of her saying they're going to be there tonight. And the sign says, "We're MJF parents and we think he sucks too." And then he retweeted it and he just says, "Fuck off, mom."
Oh man,
I love him. He's so awesome.
He's getting mom heat.
That's
He
crazy,
is
man.
getting
What's
mom
crazy
heat.
is he's getting all this okay to say all this stuff, like
Yeah.
like methany, like like do
Methany.
y'all
Oh,
remember
right,
the
yeah.
Pillman, the 2-part Pillman
Yeah,
Dark Side, like
yeah.
wild man. Oh, well, one more thing too, real quick. This match, FTR had stripes on their trunks.
Yeah.
That was a tribute to Bobby Eaton. That was a tribute to the Midnight Express.
Was it really? That's really
Yep,
cool.
because that was the same stripe that they kind of wore in the '80s. It was just kind of weird, awkward, and yeah, it was like a rainbow stripe on white tights. Oh, you know what I mean?
It looked a little weird.
Dennis Condrey and Sweet Stan Lane, the other guys would usually wear the short trunks, and then Bobby Eaton would have wore the long trunks. So yeah, so I just want to throw that in there. That was a tribute to Bobby Eaton and Midnight Express, obviously, since he had just passed. So pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I completely missed it. So
Yeah,
I mean, it's a good thing you're here to
the old guy
clarify such
catching
things.
the old guy catching.
So, FTR has a match with Dante Martin and Matt Sydal. Dante Martin is just still awesome. He's so fast. I can't wait to see where he goes. He's like 16 years old, so like very green, but he's going to be amazing someday. FTR gets the win. So up next, Malachi Black comes to the ring and is cutting a Malachi Black type promo, and Rosario Dawson is in the crowd, who is on the show with Cody Rhodes. It's called the Big Show something or other. I can't think of the name of it.
It's on
in any
Hulu.
case, yes, I don't know what it's called, but it's
No, it's on HBO Max.
Get your streaming services right. I'm gonna take a pause.
Yeah, it's the Big Show, Big Shot show.
Which one's it on? It's on HBO Max.
Yeah.
It's a TLC Plus.
No, it's
TLC Plus.
Paramount, Peacock. Oh, that's WWE.
I know there's so many. It's hard to keep up.
Okay, I've had my mom. Okay, so Rosario Dawson in the crowd. Obviously, she has a show with Cody Rhodes. So then Cody Rhodes, he's back. He makes his way through the crowd, which I didn't really understand.
Couldn't stay away.
He lasted a month. Is it about a month and a half maybe? So I bet he just wants his boot back. Like he's gonna get his boot and then be like, all right, I'm gonna fuck off now. See ya. So he's back. Cody Rhodes and Malachi Black get into a brawl and they fight through the crowd and stuff. And I guess they kept going in the concession stands and where the fans were and stuff. It was cool angle. What's up? What's up next? Dark Order Further Dissension. Still look forward to where that goes.
Yep. They still need a leader.
They do.
It's the Go Big Show.
Thank you.
Go Big Show.
Maybe that was written.
What's it called tonight on Dynamite? Grand Slam?
Grand Slam.
Is that
Omega, Brian?
Yeah, tonight.
Tonight's episode is absolutely stacked. I can't wait to watch it. It's like every match is like a pay-per-view main event almost. Not every match. I mean, you probably have the bunny in there somewhere. So up next, my boy Dan Lambert. I love him so much. He just rips on people. He rips on people, and he has Paige Van Zandt in the ring with them. He had his other MMA guys and ladies
Junior
that were
Dos Santos and Arlovsky,
yes. and then Paige Van Zandt is there, which she's because again, you guys know I'm not the biggest MMA person.
Right.
I'm trying to get into it more, especially with your buddy, but I know who Paige Van Zandt is, so it was cool seeing her. I still love Dan Lambert, but I miss Ethan Page talking. I still don't understand the pairing of Ethan Page and Dan Lambert because he's such a good talker. Scorpio Sky can continue to fuck off. Jericho and Jake Hager come out, and it's setting up a match between Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page and Chris Jericho and Jake Hager for tonight. Gonna be awesome. So up next we have the Gun Club, and I will write
your boys.
So here's my notes. Fuck right off. The first thing that made me angry in Dynamite in a long while. That's all I wrote down. I can't stand the sight of him. Now I hate his kids. So just go away.
Well,
They tried to.
They were talking about why they turned.
Did they? I don't know. I
just want you to
zoned
know.
out.
I've seen that the Gun Club is going to be in Kearney, Nebraska this Saturday for
Kearney, Nebraska?
Zello Pro. Kearney.
It should be Kearney because that's what they are. Hey, bang, bang, bang. I hate them so much. So up next, Leila Hirsch versus Jade Cargill. This is a cool match because Jade Cargill she's basically a superhero, like
legit Leila.
And Leila Hirsch, who I like Leila Hirsch a lot. She's she's like Wolverine. She's like
I also like her.
She's awesome. But Leila Hirsch gets the win, obviously. But it was a good match. Up next, CM Punk gets beat up by Team Tazz. I guess that ends his night on commentary. So it wasn't a whole night.
Yep.
But
CM Punk.
So Team Tazz, finally Tazz is back on camera, and he looks like a roly-poly bug. I was very excited when I saw him. Like a pit. What are those called? Like a roly-poly.
A roly-poly. We can all go with that.
So I don't need to know everyone knows roly-poly.
Yeah.
He looked like because he was in all gray and he was him, so he looked like a roly-poly. Like I kept expecting him to like curl up into a ball and then have someone flick him because that's what you do with roly-polies. So they set up a match between Powerhouse Hobbs and CM Punk again tonight. Can't wait for that one. I think that's going to be a good match.
No, that's Friday.
Wait, was it? No, it wasn't.
Yeah, because I thought I saw today on their Twitter that said that interview tonight, 48 hours before his first match.
That's right. Okay, it is. You are correct. I couldn't tell what you were trying to say because your eyes were not telling me any information whatsoever. I actually had to listen to you.
Also, if they baited him with Hook and
Hook, I don't like Hook.
And I'm just like, kid, get out of CM Punk's face before.
Yes, like what are you doing?
Right? Yeah.
Go away.
You don't belong there.
No, you do not. So up next is Darby Allin versus Sean Spears. And by the way, this is all still one episode.
Right.
Sean Spears wipes Darby Allin's face paint off. This is awesome because they made like a big deal out of it. At one point, he was sitting. Sean Spears was sitting on the steps, like they moved like the ring steps to the middle of the ring, and Darby Allin does like this insane dive and hits Sean Spears, and they like go tumbling off the steps. Amazing spot. What else? Sting no sells a chair shot as only Sting can do. But then they beat him up. Sting takes a spike pile driver, and then Spears wipes his face paint off as well. I was like, I love this angle. I love this match. I love this feud. I was terrified when Sting took the spike pile driver. Yeah. Like, he has a bad neck. Like, but luckily it was with who was it, FTR that did it. And like, so they're not obviously not going to hurt Sting.
Top guys.
Yes. Up next, Brian Danielson promo with Kenny Omega eventually. This match is also tonight. Omega versus Brian Danielson. I believe it's a non-title match, but...
Yeah. It is non-title, yeah.
Yeah, he said, I don't care about the title. I just want to prove who's the best.
Yeah, and I think American Dragon might get a win tonight. Like, I can't see him losing, it's probably going to be some sort of fuck finish, which is annoying, but...
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. It's kind of schmozzy finish.
Well, hopefully we get 15 minutes of awesome wrestling first before the schmoz finish.
I think we're going to get a match before.
I hope so. I'd be okay with that. Yep. So finally, after all of that wrestling goodness, we come to the main event, which is Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston versus 2.0. 2.0 continues to get better and better. They're awesome. Moxley bites everyone. It reminded me a little bit of the Bushwhackers. So I got a little like, Bushwhackers. Primo, you can't do the Bushwhacker bounce in that face paint.
I know, right? Doesn't go together.
Moxley and Kingston get the win, of course. Suzuki comes out afterwards, and episode ends. And it was such a good episode of Dynamite. It really was unbelievable.
It was. I do want to say too. I texted AJ. AEW is going to be in Chicago on the campus of DePaul University.
Yes,
the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. So, and I'm very, very pissed off that I'm going to be
Dynamite about
Texas.
But
for that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. We decided you're going to be in Texas. Yeah.
Awful. Michael, I'm skipping Thanksgiving.
Coming back to St. Louis though, beginning of November, so we might try to hit that one. So
Yep.
let me. Was that it for Dynamite?
That is AEW Dynamite.
Forgot to run it by you here. All our previous episodes are now on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, Amazon Prime Music, Audible, and SportsWire online radio on Fridays at 6:15, right before Thomas Bryce. Primo, tell us, where can they get the Marks merch like this pretty T-shirt that I'm wearing here right now?
Or
and
that,
AJ got the
yeah, both got merch on Mark's merch. You can get it at tpublic.com/stores/sit down Marks, all one word, no hyphens. Sit down Marks.
My nipple's on my chin.
It is. Your nipple's on my chin. Your nipple's on my chin.
You think you know me. You think you know me.
You know me. You think you know me. Yeah. You think you know me. All right, let me get to the, let's see, Impact Wrestling and the Indies. Let me get to the Indies first here. Let me talk about what's going on this weekend. Let's talk about first where our boy Trevor Outlaw is going to be this Saturday in Thornton, Illinois, up by Chicago. Freelance Underground. Trevor Outlaw is going to be there. They're putting on a card. I think it's called Dirty Deeds is the name of the card. So,
I hear they're done dirt cheap.
yeah. Or are they hinting that Mox is going to show up?
I just think that this is why Trevor Outlaw calls me a bozo.
That's probably why. All right, next up, let's talk about Limitless Wrestling up in Yarmouth, Maine on Saturday. Yarmouth.
Yarmouth.
Like a good wrestling town there up in Yarmouth. Put it right there with Poughkeepsie. Poughkeepsie and
Poughkeepsie, the best.
Yarmouth.
Yarmouth.
Back in Yarmouth.
The card is called Euphoria Limitless Wrestling on Saturday. Defy Wrestling up in the Pacific Northwest, up in the Seattle area, Saturday, September 25th. The Mad Kingdom is the name of the card. It couldn't mean nobody else, but Eddie Kingston is on the card versus Shaft is going to be the match there that Eddie's having. So that's going to be awesome. We've seen Shaft wrestle live.
Shaft.
Should be a pretty beast of a card. And then we kind of talked about it earlier. September 25th, this Saturday, Zello Pro is running a show in Kearney, Nebraska. That's Kearney, Nebraska. The Gun Club will be there. Tommy Dreamer was supposed to be there, but is not on the card. So that is what's going on this weekend in on the Indies. But the other big show happening in St. Louis, East St. Louis, is that me and AJ are going to this weekend. We'll cover that here shortly. Later on down the line here today in the pod. Let me get to Impact Wrestling here and let you know what happened last Thursday. Let me just kind of lead you in here as we had Victory Road was the pay-per-view last Saturday, but before that was Thursday night. So this was the go-home show going into Victory Road. And so basically coming into the show, there's trouble in the Violent by Design camp. And basically they all turn on Rhino after losing to Decay. So it looks like Rhino is going to be kicked out of Violent by Design here. So they'll probably have a fallout with him. Macklin attacked TJP and Petey. They are all in a match together at Victory Road. So Macklin attacked them, broke their fight up. Next up was Laredo Kid versus the returning John Skyler. Skyler wins by a sneaky little pull of the tights to get the pin. I'm super excited about it to see John Skyler back. It looks like he is contracted by Impact Wrestling now, I think. So looking forward to seeing him more on there. So he ends up winning. Next up, Trey Miguel versus Matt Rewalt. That was wild. Like a car just fell out of nowhere off my shelf. Okay. It's Primo's face paint, man. He's like he's Danhausen. He's Danhausen. So, as I said, Trey Miguel versus Matt Rewalt, known as the Drama King,
Rusev
Rusev Day.
That was very good.
E. Deonna Purrazzo interferes. Mickey James comes out. It's a big pull apart. James says she's got a lot to say, and she's going to say it here coming up in the future. So, anyway, we get to the main event. Not a lot happened heading into this. It was just kind of small little story advances. So, all right, so this is what we get to here. We got Christian Cage. We got Sammy Callahan, which makes me sad. Chris Sabin. We got Eddie Edwards and Josh Alexander versus Ace Austin, Madman Fulton, Brian Myers, Morrissey, and Moose. So basically, it's let's throw everybody who has beef with each other in a match together, and let's see what happens. So it's a pretty good match, man. Everybody that had beef with each other was fighting, breaking, fighting on each other, mixing it up with each other. Josh Alexander gets the win for his team with a C4 spike, which is a kind of an inverted DDT.
It's a cool move.
Brian Myers, it is a cool move.
Yeah.
It was a lot of finishers were handed out throughout the match. On
and
other guys.
You get a finisher.
Yeah, you get a finisher. Right. But anyway,
L1.
That's how Impact Wrestling went off with Victory Road coming up this Saturday. Bound for Glory is their WrestleMania, their big pay-per-view of the year. That is slated for October 23rd in Las Vegas. So that one's going to be big. Interested to see where they go now because they had a pretty cool storyline going with Eddie and Sammy. If you guys remember last week, Sammy showed up to help Eddie, tossed him the bat. They clean house, that kind of stuff. So
now his leg's broken.
Yeah, that sucks, man. But anyway, that's how Impact Wrestling went off. So next in line would be our man Primo here. I think we'll see.
Yeah,
Am I looking at the wrong
who knows?
Yep, nope. Looking next in line here will be our man Primo with SmackDown from last Friday. What's going on with the bloodline there, Primo? Whose game is it?
Primo's game, baby. I'll tell you, smackity down. We're going to smack it all the way down. The head of the table arrives with the bloodline in tow. We're reminded by the announce team that Roman is defending his Universal Championship against Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia.
Like the white bloodline shirts? I like
I like
those. Those are sweet.
I do. They're clean.
White means good guy, so they're tinkering, so
right.
I like it.
No face turn.
But before that, he has to defend it against the Demon, Finn Balor, at Extreme Rules.
My boy.
Paul says that Roman doesn't fear any man, any beast, or demon, but they all fear the tribal chief. Paul says that Finn Balor is so scared that he had to channel the demon.
You think you know me? You think you know me?
You think you know me? You think you know me?
He also says that Brock Lesnar is scared.
Brock
Lesnar. Out comes the brand new WWE champion, Big E.
Yeah, boy. Let's get Big E on TV a lot.
As Big E and Roman are staring each other down, Finn Balor arrives. After the commercial break, we got ourselves a tag team match, playa. Big E and Finn Balor versus the Usos. After Big E and Finn Balor.
After Big E,
I lost my spot. After Big E and Finn Balor win, Roman and Paul are shown in the locker room. Roman grills Paul, asking him, "Are you sure there wasn't anything you need to tell me?" Like he's grilling him, right?
Yeah.
Paul swears he didn't know that Brock was coming and that Brock fears Roman. He says that Brock is lying and that he knows that Brock fears him. That's why he's inserting such lies to cause tension.
Lies. Paul is lying.
Yeah, Paul is the notorious liar.
He's in a triangle. He's in a love triangle.
He is.
Now. Mm-hmm. He's going to have to choose.
Roman tells Paul he pays him to know in advance.
Right. I love that.
Because he asks him if he's going to show up at Extreme Rules. He said, "I don't know, my tribal chief."
Tribal chief. My tribal chief.
I don't know my tribal chief.
Wise
My
man.
tribal chief. My tribal chief.
Get Big E on TV though.
So
Yeah.
backstage, Caleb Braxton sneaks up on Paul Heyman and asks for his thoughts on the whispers that Brock Lesnar could be drafted to Monday Night Raw. After getting Paul all worked up, he turns around and runs right into WWE Champion Big E. Paul tells him a smart decision and not going. He says, I guess we'll have to see who's better when I go face Roman at Survivor Series. Whatever that means.
Mm.
We didn't hear any of that because your audio cut out.
Yep.
Whatever that last 10, 15 words you said.
I said Big E tells Paul Heyman, I guess we'll have to see who was better between him and Roman whenever he faces him at Survivor Series.
There it is.
Wherever that came from.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, thanks for letting us know.
Yeah. Random. So it's like...
Yeah.
I'm glad you did that twice. That was very...
Right, yeah.
That was good. Important.
So... As he turns around, the Usos super kick him and proceed to beat him down. Okay, moving on. That was our first main point. Happy Corbin attacks Kevin.
Happy Corbin.
Happy Corbin attacks Kevin Owens ahead of their match, making him unable to compete.
I'm still mad about Happy Corbin.
Seth Rollins. I forgot I typed this. Seth Rollins arrives to the ring wrapped in aluminum foil.
Yes, he did. He seriously looked like
the Silver Man.
Yeah,
He looked like the Silver Man from
Silver
Vegas.
Server.
He looked like leftovers.
Yeah, he can rock it though. He can rock
It had everything: the coat, the pants, and the tie.
it. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Good
He
stuff.
says last week he had one of the greatest matches of his career, and we've all had a week to process what happened. It was unfortunate, unsettling, and scary. He says he heard a pop and felt a crunch when he delivered the curb stomp, kind of like how it feels to step on a cockroach. The crowd starts chanting, "You look stupid! You look stupid!" Like they used to chant at Sheamus back in the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
He says that he's not doing it any justice by talking about it, so he shows video footage. He asked the crowd, what do you think was going to happen? He says he used a legal move in a legal match and won it the same way he's won a majority of matches in his career, which is true.
Yeah.
He says he didn't go too far. Edge did. Edge knew the risks and still got in the ring with Seth. Seth says the WWE Universe is to blame for what happened to Edge. He goes on to say he is not done with Edge. He looks at the TV camera and asks Edge, are you physically and emotionally capable of getting back into the ring?
I like this promo. I thought it was pretty...
yeah, it was good.
I did like how he like blamed the crowd. He's like, what'd you do when, you called when someone called me Edge Light? You cheered. Like, yeah. I thought it was very cool.
All you did was further this even more.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. You made this happen. He says that he needs to move on, but he can't do that until he finishes Edge off. For his own sanity, he needs to finish Edge one way or another.
I think he will, too.
He'll finish him right off.
Yep.
Finish
him.
Finish him.
Finish him off.
Finish him. Bianca Belair has her homecoming. So to celebrate, the mayor of Knox County comes out first. He welcomes the EST of WWE back to her hometown.
I'm on my own.
If you don't know who the mayor of Knox County is, I'm not going to explain it to you. Get with the times. He welcomes the EST of WWE back to her hometown. You're lucky he's on the show. He tells you that after she wins the championship, come back to Knoxville so they can throw a huge celebration. Then Kane gives her the key to the city. While Bianca gets the crowd to start singing whatever song they were singing there, Becky finally interrupts to save us from having to listen to that any longer. That's what I literally typed. Right. Because I was so over that whole segment. I was happy to see Kane, but I was like, finally, Becky, thank you.
After it was cool to see Kane, but then after seriously 20 seconds, I'm like, okay, I'm for it.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, Kane came out, he did his pyro, yeah.
And then boring Becky shows up.
And then Becky finally came out to have everybody shut up.
And Becky saves it.
Yeah, Becky saved the day. Becky cons Bianca, gullible little Bianca, into shaking her hand again. Yep. So And Becky is able to land another manhandle slam.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we
Manhandle
go
slam.
off of the show on Smackity Down. Baby!
Baby.
On to you, AJ, with Rampage.
It's SmackDown. It was all right though. Like I mean,
SmackDown is improving.
Yeah, it is. Bianca, I like she come out in orange from Knoxville. She went to Tennessee. It was, cool thing. Like I'm like Becky's leaving her land, like on the way out. But they're wrestling at
what came out?
Extreme Rules. So
besides Peyton Manning.
I'm ready. I'm ready to watch that match.
Daniels. Tennessee's a terrible state. It's the worst.
I mean, Tennessee's beautiful.
Not as bad as Texas. Texas is the worst.
Hey, fuck off.
Fucking Texas is the worst.
All right, let's get to AEW Rampage. AJ, let's talk about it, man. Let me put this in here real quick. I think, as we talked about last week, I think Rampage might be going to 2 hours.
I think it has to.
And it looks like it is because
it's Friday.
As we spoke about, me and AJ were looking at tickets November 5th. They were advertising Rampage, so I'm like, it's got to, it's a 2-hour show. So, so it looks like we're going to get 2 full shows here coming up. So tell us what happened on Rampage last week, AJ.
Rampage, eh? So, again,
Rampage, I see what you did there.
Yoser.
I didn't even mean to do that. I'm just awesome. So, Rampage. So, first up, Butcher and the Blade, which I have spoken my disdain about earlier.
Butcher and the Blade.
I just go away. That's a silly gimmick. Versus the Lucha Bros for the AEW tag team titles.
Zero. Miedo.
I lost count after 4.
4, okay.
4 was all I got to.
We have that night? Somewhere right now, Primo's getting held down by his wife, and she's wiping the face paint off.
Yeah.
Like
and then putting him in a spike pile driver with his daughter.
Right.
She's jumping off the couch.
Yeah, he's not coming back.
No.
Oh, that's what I want to happen. If it comes back smeared, we're totally selling it. His face paint. He went to the bathroom. But anyway, carry on. We'll talk junk about him while he's in the bathroom. That piece of shit.
Remember how much Primo sucks? He's the worst.
Remember, how can you ever forget? He reminds us every second you're around him. God, that guy's awful.
Look at his
Don't
sign.
ever take pee breaks during the show. This is what happens.
No.
We'll shit on you while you're gone.
And your stupid Texas Longhorn.
Right. So AEW Rampage, as we were
Butcher
just talking about. Hey, Primo, we weren't
what's up?
we didn't even
Welcome
really
back.
know you were gone. We were just kind of discussing.
Fuck off! I heard you talking just now.
We were talking about the Butcher and the Blade against the Lucha Brothers, and the amount of Cero Miedo chants. Did you? So, anyways, Lucha Brothers win with Lucha Brothers awesomeness. But the main thing here is to set up their next match, which is with Santina and Ortiz.
Yep.
Which is going to be very cool.
Santina.
Yes, Santana.
Santina Morella.
Yes.
Tyler, Trevor. Here we go.
PB&J is going to be at ringside with Arthur.
Yeah.
Pride
We're
and
going to call
Powerful
him J.A. from now
needs
on.
more respect than that.
We're going to call him J.A. from now on.
Special
He's not
guest
AJ
referee,
anymore. He's J.A.
Griff Grifferson.
Griff Grifferson.
Griff Grifferson Gunn. Griff Grifferson Gunn.
Santina.
Santana and Ortiz.
Yes, there you go.
Thank you.
What I was trying to say was
Santana and Ortiz. I need to start typing my notes because I was just reading them really fast and it looked like Santina. I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyways, so that'll be the next Lucha Bros match. Gonna be awesome. Then a little later on, Matt Hardy, to set up his hair versus hair match against Orange Cassidy, finds
Matt
a
the Barber Hardy.
Yes,
Matt the Barber Hardy.
Matt the Barber Hardy. The Booty Man Hardy.
How much do they pay this fan?
I mean, he kind of needed a haircut anyway.
Give him like $50.
They're probably just like, "Here, we'll give you a ticket and some popcorn
and
a haircut."
free TV.
Oh yeah.
But I always like fan plants because no one believes that they're actually fans.
I think my favorite one was actually Santino.
Yeah, that actually was a pretty good one.
Somebody was like, he's been staring at me the whole time, and like they had sunglasses on. You couldn't really tell who was staring at him. Who did that one the other day? Was that what Hardy did?
That was what Hardy did.
Yeah. That's what Hardy
he
did.
looked like Orange Cassidy.
Yeah. He was like, he's been staring at me all night. And the dude's just kind of standing there. Yeah.
My favorite one ever was when Kevin Sullivan was dressed as an old lady. You guys remember that? Oh
yeah.
We'll get to that in Halloween Havoc, I'm sure. But anyways, Matt Hardy pulls this plant out of the crowd and shaves his head. Obviously, he did because he had on the Orange Cassidy like jacket and sunglasses.
He took a nice bump over the railing too.
He did. He did admirably.
Yeah.
And then he got his hair cut, which is fine. Haven't seen a hair versus hair match in a while. Why not? Up next, Britt Baker and Ruby Soho promo. This was fantastic. Highlight of the show. It was
amazing.
It was so mean and hilarious, and like it was half shoot. Like Britt Baker was making fun of Ruby Soho because she's like, now you finally get to be on TV for once, which was a nice little dig at Ruby. And then Ruby was talking about how it really pays to be banging someone in the back.
She goes, you're just like everybody else. You're like over with a crowd or something and banging somebody in the back. Obviously the Adam Cole reference.
Yes,
but they were just roasting each other.
They
were. It was awesome.
I
love when it takers on the lines of reality.
Mm-hmm. It reminded me a lot of, remember the New Day versus the Uso rap battle that they had, and they kept referencing Xavier Woods' sex tape. Yeah.
Right.
This is kind of what that reminded me of, minus the whole sex tape, which would have been cool if either of them had one of those. Anyways,
Paige,
yeah. I'm back.
I told you it's my least favorite.
Yeah, mine is Paige here. Paige here. Anyways, so to close the show off. There was a couple of other segments in there. There's a Bryan Danielson segment. I can't believe I'm skipping over a Bryan Danielson segment.
It was a nice Miro quote in there, too.
Oh, was it the one about how he's going to, take his car and smash it or something like that?
And then he said afterwards, I'm going to celebrate with my God up high and my wife down low.
My wife down low. He is a treasure. Oh, it's the best.
He's God's favorite champion.
You know what's even funnier? The reason why he's gonna say he's gonna play this into his God's favorite champion later. I remember this. He was born on Christmas Day, so his birthday is Christmas. So he's gonna watch. This is coming into the gimmick at some point. He's born the same day as Jesus. So it'll be funny. It'll be funny.
Born the same day as Jesus. I look forward to that. He, of course, has his match with Fuego del Sol for the TNT Championship.
Fuego del Sol.
And it was just hilarity ensues. Miro, it wasn't a squash match, but it was kind of a squash match. Fuego del Sol got some offense in. So Miro, obviously, beats the shit out of him, gets the pin, and then he puts him in the game over after shoving the car keys in his mouth. He shoved the car keys in Fuego del Sol's mouth and then puts him in the game over. Miro's just the best. I love him. He's fantastic. And then with that, Sammy Guevara comes out and starts talking to Miro. So that's going to be the next feud going forward for Miro, which is going to be pretty spectacular. Miro versus Sammy Guevara for
I could see Sammy taking this off of Miro here.
I can too.
I was like, yeah, this guy's he's over enough. They're going to have some great matches too.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So with that was the end of Rampage. Again, too short.
Yeah. But they're going to, with him going 2 hours here, it's going to beef up here on Friday. So we're going to get some really good quality wrestling coming up, and it won't seem as short. So,
fantastic.
All right, next in line was Impact Wrestling Victory Road pay-per-view. And so let's get to that. Let me just read off the results here for you. Macklin defeated Petey and TJP.
Poor
Laredo,
TJP.
Yeah, Laredo Kid won a scramble match with a lot of people in it. I can't remember who else was in it. I didn't write it down, but Laredo Kid won. Yep. Taylor Wilde defeated Tennille Dashwood. Matt Cardona defeated Rohit Raju. Chris Bay and Hakaleo defeated Fanjuice. And then getting closer to the middle of the card to the end, Moose and Morrissey defeated Sammy Callahan and Eddie Edwards.
Wonder if that's when he broke his leg.
Yeah, I don't know. Could have been. I'm pretty sure that was live Saturday night. So, yeah, it could have been. When the reports come out, did you see?
I saw it this morning.
Yeah.
That he had broken his leg. So, I don't know.
All right. Next up, Decay retained the women's tag team titles versus Tasha Steeles and Savannah Evans.
Mm-hmm.
The Good Brothers retained their tag team Impact titles against Willie Mack and Rich Swann. Josh Alexander retained the X Division title against Chris Sabin. And then in the main event, Christian Cage defeated Ace Austin to retain the world title. So nothing happened as usual on Impact Plus. These, I don't know why they do these. I mean, I know why they do these to try to generate, but nothing happens on them, and like I feel like if I wasn't in wrestling, I really wouldn't even know where to find it.
You know why Ace Austin didn't win?
Because he botched his entrance?
That's right.
Yep.
Love the guy, but he almost killed somebody with that staff.
Yes, he did.
That was funny when he did that at AEW. All right, let's get to WWE to finish up our recaps here so we can get to our Dropkick discussion here tonight. Primo, roll us in, baby. Monday Night Raw from last Monday. This was Big E's big return back as the champ. Whose game is it, Primo?
Primo's game, baby. Announced at the beginning of the show, the New Day will take on the Bloodline tonight on Raw, as if we didn't see that coming.
Right.
The reunited New Day arrives to start the show for Big E's championship celebration. Big E gives thanks and celebrates for a moment, but says the New Day has business to tend to. And that's the Bloodline. Raw is the New Day's show, and they're going to send the Bloodline. Yeah,
We the ones.
That's right.
I love Roman being on Raw. This is great.
I was okay.
Oh, yeah, I did write that down, too. He's going to send the Bloodline packing for the first time since 2019. The Tribal Chief makes his appearance on Raw as he and the Bloodline interrupt the celebration so they can have their matchup to open up the show opener.
Yeah, love that position on the card.
The Bloodline wins due to interference and distraction by Bobby Lashley as he attacks everyone. He showed no prejudice.
Yeah.
Just everyone.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting hit.
Everybody, including both world champions. Afterwards, Bobby Lashley barges into GM's office and says he could beat both Big E and Roman because this is the Almighty Era, and the Almighty Era never stops.
Era.
Area. It goes on
Also
a lot.
area.
Yeah.
This turns into the main event becoming a triple threat between Bobby, Big E, and the Tribal Chief.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This triple threat match was pretty awesome. That's literally what I wrote there. This triple threat match was pretty awesome.
It was good wrestle.
After Bobby Lashley beats down Big E with a chair, Roman is able to hit a spear and get the victory as the show goes off the air.
Spear!
So that's how that whole angle went down. That was the majority of Monday Night Raw in a nutshell. Some other notes we had. Shayna Baszler defeated Nia Jax by choking her out and then proceeded to attack her after the match and attempted to intentionally injure Nia's arm, it looks like.
Yes. Now Nia Jax is work injured, so she's going to be off TV for a while.
The new pairing of Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo looked great as they took out Ali and Mansoor.
Yeah.
So they're trying to create tag teams.
Yeah, create some tag teams here.
Because I did see recently Angel Garza was like soon or something like that. He put out a tweet or something like that. And so I guess this is what he's doing. Well, I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm down with it as long as they continue down the tag team path and
I mean, they need more tag teams.
Elevate the division.
As long as they don't make them Los Matadores.
Los Matadores. With
El Torito.
El Torito, yeah.
How did that not make any of our worst gimmicks of all time?
Hornswoggle was on mine.
Yeah, Hornswoggle was on yours.
Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH defeat Natalya and Tamina to become the new women's tag team champions.
Yep.
Good.
And the best for last, Jeff Hardy wins by beating Sheamus and gets added to the United States Championship match at Extreme Rules, which is now a triple threat between him, Damian, and Sheamus.
What are they doing with Jeff Hardy? Like, I do not understand.
There was an uproar like 2 weeks ago over his booking. Apparently, somebody noticed.
So they altered it to be like, okay, fine, you're right.
They're like, all right,
stupid.
the fans are obviously pissed that we're not elevating a former world champion.
And it gives clout to that match.
It does.
Want to watch it, but man, Jeff's face paint was super cool.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Monday Night Raw, I love that. It's kind of like Finn Balor looking with the teeth.
Yep,
that was super cool, man.
How dare you compare Jeff Hardy to my boy Finn?
Now, if there is one thing, I love Jeff Hardy, but Finn's paint is always cool.
Sure.
Jeff Hardy's paint bothers me when he has the eyeballs over the eyeballs. I don't like that. Like that just.
I'm gonna start doing that.
Please do.
Couple notes I want to say about Raw real quick. Riddle still calling AJ Skipper.
Skipper,
yep. Skipper, yeah.
So funny. The other thing is RKO. It's the stunner of our era right now in wrestling, is it not? Like, is it not like the best finisher you want to see right now in wrestling? Not pertaining to our dropkick discussion, but I mean, you clamor for it a little bit. Like, it's the one you want to see the most right now. Other than maybe a GTS or something we haven't seen in a while.
There's not many right now that we can justify kicking out of it.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
And I do like that it's still, there's not too many out of nowhere finishing moves left. I mean, the stunner was obviously one, and
sure,
like it's one of the few left where it just boom, match is over. Like you're not even expecting it, and it can just end. I like that a lot. Adds an element of surprise to matches. So yeah, I'm on board with whatever garbage is coming out of your face hole. Yeah, let's go with it. Stone Cold, eh?
That means Stunner's coming right there. But last thing I want to say, they made it very clear who the top champion in the company was at the end of Raw tonight. It's Roman on top. You know, I mean, we knew this anyway, but you know, they made it very clear to me anyway that he's the man.
I hope they at some point a long time from now, because I want Big E to have a long title run. But I think it'd be pretty cool if they have Roman and Big E fight to unify the title, because I think the title should be unified. Whoever's the champ just goes back and forth.
Maybe they'll do it at Survivor Series.
I just wish the one thing that would just send Roman over in legitimacy to me, because trust me, I'm still Team Roman. Mm-hmm. But if he just had the WWE title instead of the Universal title.
If they
flip-flopped,
yeah.
They see the Universal as the bigger one, though.
I know. We've had this talk. I don't care what they see.
I know. But I see the Universal as the bigger one.
I can never see it as the bigger one.
I do now.
Just because the world title
and maybe that's what they're trying to do, is trying to elevate that more. But it just, to me, I can't.
I agree.
Yeah.
Ever since it came out and it looked like jam. I was like, okay.
It looks, well, at least whenever we had, back in the day, whenever, Chris Jericho won the Undisputed title, right? He was the first Undisputed champion. At least we had the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE Championship.
They were two distinct belts.
Now we have the WWE Championship and a championship that looks like the WWE Championship, but it's blue.
Yeah, but it's the Universal Championship. Yeah, I agree. I think they should flip-flop them. Because the WWE Championship is the one with the lineage. Universal Championship.
That's the thing. It has lineage. There's tradition behind it.
So, yeah. Fuck you, Universal Championship is the moral of that tale.
But I get what they're doing. They're trying to elevate it with him. And don't get me wrong, he's still a badass.
He's still the best champ. As much as I love Big E, he's still the best champ on the brand.
All right. NXT 2.0. This was the second episode of kind of the reboot of NXT.
All right.
I'm getting like hip hop vibes. You know, it looks
Hip-hop?
like they've
Hip-hop
gone away
vibes?
from the metal and screaming intros of Slipknot in those days. You know, of when Triple H kind of, now it's a hip hop song. You know,
He's
and
been in the hospital.
the new theme has come out now. So yeah, big showcase of all the new talent here. Pretty good episode. I'm still getting used to the venue as well.
All right. So show opens up with all of the new NXT 2.0 signees in the ring and the arrival of the new NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa. He said,
"No one will survive." Dun-dun-dun-dun.
He says right away it took him 908 days, but on that day 908 he reclaimed what he never lost. He puts all of the new signees over and then says that he has and always will be Mr. NXT. He says with Tommaso Ciampa leading NXT as its champion, NXT 2.0 just became the A show.
Horseshit.
Out comes Cameron Grimes.
They're not even the real 2.0.
Cameron Grimes! He says the championship that Tommaso is holding is the fuel that he needs to go to the moon. After that, out comes L.A. Knight. He comes out and says, "Let me talk to you." And he starts blabbering about it too. Then Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland come out and do the same thing.
Here comes everybody.
All hell seems to break loose both in the ring and backstage as they pan to the back where the female superstar is doing the same. But right there at the end, it ends with Scott Steiner, Braun Breaker, saying how I said that on purpose because he goes, "How's about you two bitches face me and Ciampa tonight and a tag team match?"
It's a very Scott Steiner-y thing to say.
Very.
He sounded just like Scott when he said it.
Yes, he did.
Wait a minute, he's Rick's son.
He's Rick's son, but he sounded like Scott when he said it.
Yeah, he sounded like Scott, definitely. Yeah. Scott is...
How about you two bitches face us in a tag team match later?
How about you two bitches?
How long
you got some
until he breaks
fat
into
asses.
a 33 and a third?
He's got to be doing Steiner math soon, right?
Right.
Got some fat asses.
So we have the Cruiserweight Championship match between Kushida and Roderick Strong. Roddy Strong is your new Cruiserweight champion. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Kushida, when is he ever on?
Right.
When he loses
Maybe that's
Strong.
why he said. Maybe that's why they took the belt off him.
Yeah.
Immediately after the match, though, this celebration was interrupted by Grayson Waller. He challenges Roddy Strong for his new championship next week. Really, that's what you do. You get signed, you're like, hey, I want that belt.
Yeah.
He goes, well, I was hanging
That
out
goes
back
to me.
here, and I just decided I was just going to come out here and make my own.
That's right, yeah.
Make my own way. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, hit my music. I'll come out.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. So
You
Malcolm
finish off
Bivens
the
says
cinnamon
next
bun.
week, Diamond Mine will show him why they run NXT. I didn't know they did, but Malcolm Bivens says they're going to show them that.
They're very humble when they run it. That's why you don't know that they run it. Because
Right.
they're very quiet about it.
NXT's first superstar.
Superstore. You can buy bulk barbecue sauce at NXT.
JR's
Superstore.
barbecue sauce. NXT's first superstar from Singapore
Barbecue.
is Dante Chen. He makes his debut as he defeats Trey Baxter.
It's like you have Tourette's tonight. It's awesome.
Who, me? Well, I'm excited that Danhausen is on the show here
Barbecue!
to do the recaps here with
do
us,
the
man. I'm
recaps.
excited. Yeah.
Oh, now this part, I literally laughed. So at this segment, it's been done before, but Andre Chase is conducting Chase University, picking apart Odyssey Jones when he gets interrupted by a random dude named Steve. He's just like, fuck off, Steve.
Yeah. That's funny, man. That's good stuff.
And then Odyssey Jones, and that's another thing. So it looks like they're building up Odyssey Jones to be a big beast.
Yeah.
He just scheduled for a 2-on-1 handicap match and just destroys him. They're clearly building him as a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Gigi Dolan, JC Jane, and Mandy Rose arrive with their new group name, Toxic Attraction.
Toxic
That's a
Attraction.
terrible, terrible name.
This reminds me of Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Cause you know that you're toxic.
I bet none of us know any other words to that song.
That's it. That's all we need to know.
I'm addicted to you, but you know that you're toxic. See, fuck off. I win. Losers.
The main event. By the way, speaking of main event, Mark Henry. I saw somewhere Mark Henry is no longer on commentary.
Well, they figured it out. Then
Yeah,
finally,
really. They were like, we listen.
I love you, Mark.
That's why we love AEW.
Yep.
Anyway, main event on NXT 2.0 between Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa and Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland. Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa win, but after the match, Braun Breaker gets the championship and he goes to hand it back to Tommaso Ciampa, and he won't let go of it. He had a firm grasp on that belt, and he just wouldn't get his grimy hands off of Goldie until Tommaso yanked it from him.
His grimy hands.
So, and that's how we go off the air with those two celebrating their victory over Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland.
Yeah, this whole show showcased a lot of new talent. You know, they got a lot of people on camera. We've seen vignettes. We've seen, stuff trying to get people over. So, a new leaf is forming here. They're trying to get some new people over to see what happens. So, definitely looks like a change. I mean, not just aesthetically with everything, but also with talent as well. So, all right, that is the recaps for the day. Let's get to the drop kick discussion. Today's discussion is going to be a fun one, but first, it is sponsored by Coastland Apparel. Use promo code BIRDTV for 15% off your order. That's BIRDTV for 15% off your order at coastlandapparel.com. We appreciate them sponsoring the show. Okay, so our dropkick discussion is our top 5 favorite finishing moves. Woo! Wrestler finishing moves, anything a wrestler has done before getting a pin, a signature move that he's known for, how he wins, obviously, moves like the Stone Cold Stunner, stuff like that is very popular. So we're going to start with number 5 and go all the way to 1. Boys, how about we let Danhausen kick us off here with number 5. Danhausen, who do you have?
Well, I have... Number 5 is...
Yeah.
Number 5, we have the Swanton Bomb.
I knew that was going to be on your list.
I thought it'd be your number 1.
No, it's not. It's my number 5. So it's just, I mean, obviously I'm a Jeff Hardy fan.
Right.
But then it's also been redone by several people nowadays, and
sure.
I mean, it's just, you see it and immediately I'm like, Jeff Hardy. But Swanton Bomb is awesome. It's just, you go look at top 20 Swanton Bombs by Jeff Hardy. You go look it up on YouTube. It's awesome.
I have a confession to make. I hate the Swanton Bomb, especially like when Jeff Hardy has his like baggy pants. I think he looks like one of those like sugar glider squirrel things. Right. Like whenever he does it. Yeah. For some reason, I never got behind the Swanton Bomb.
But I bet your dumbass likes the coup de grace, right? Like you like the coup de grace, don't you? You fucking prick. Look.
I don't know of what you speak.
So you like a move off the top rope where you're literally just like jumping into a pool, dropping your foot on somebody, but you don't like the Swanton Bomb where it takes actual skill to flip.
What are you talking? It's like a squirrel falling out of a tree. That's what
does coup de grace even mean?
It means the final act.
The grass.
The coup de grace means the final act.
Cut the grass.
Cut the grass.
Cut the grass. I just had to do that one.
It's not even on my list. So, number 5.
Yes. Who you got?
Is the coup de grace. It's not. Okay. But what's funny is, I don't know why I'm admitting this. I could just get away with it and move on to my number 5, but I actually had written down coup de grace by Finn Balor, but then I crossed it off because I like this one a little bit more. It's the DDT by Jake the Snake Roberts.
The
Nice.
original DDT.
The original DDT. It was one of the most, at the time, one of the most over moves. Like, whenever he did the little woo, like, which made no sense, but
What did the DDT mean? Like
Damien's
Death.
dinner time. That's
Dinner time. Yeah.
Damien's dinner time was the
Damien's
rumor.
dinner time, yeah.
I don't know if
I
that's
don't think
actually.
it's been confirmed.
I don't think it
Yeah.
has either. I mean, I know Jake Roberts has never confirmed it. But he would always lead in with the short arm clothesline, and then the DDT. Crowd would go nuts, and I would too. Like that's one of my favorite moves. It's been modified, a million times.
Right.
With Andrade, Moxley, Robert Roode, like everyone. Drew McIntyre, yes. But
the underhooks, a lot of people use differently and stuff. But yeah.
But Jake the Snakes is the best. The original.
Did you say Cactus Jack?
No, I did not. Cactus Jack also who debuted.
Bang bang.
Debuted in 1997, I'm told. So yeah,
on WWF TV.
Yeah,
I'm told.
So that's my number 5, DDT, Jake the Snake.
All right, my number 5. I come from a different era, so mine's going to be a little bit all across the board. This might catch you as a little bit of surprise, but my number 5, we heard it earlier tonight. Let's hear it again. The Stone Cold Stunner. You knew when that was happening, it was going to be entertaining. You knew when that music came out, he was going to hit the ring, hit somebody with a stunner, finish the match with a stunner. But it's got to be one of the top 5, man, because it was one of the most over moves in history. So for me, Stone Cold Stunner comes in at number 5. Primo, number 4.
Number 4 for me is the Rock Bottom.
Rock Bottom.
I used to like how he would get into a little bit of chain wrestling.
Hey, really? Hey, Primo. Remember how much Eric sucks? Like,
yeah.
Like his whole. Why does he keep yelling about things? I don't understand.
I don't know.
It's like, oh hey buddy.
He had to go get a cola.
Hey buddy, what's up? How's that?
RC Cola is better.
We were just going over Primo's number 4. Okay, sorry.
I know you were.
But my number 4 is the Rock Bottom, performed by none other than The Rock. The great one, the People's Champion. I used to like how he would get into a little bit of chain wrestling, and then he would somehow maneuver it to where he would slip his arm and then deliver the Rock Bottom.
Did you like Eugene's version of it when he would do it?
He loves Eugene.
Yeah.
No.
So much.
Yeah. Danhausen don't like Eugene.
No one likes Eugene.
Number 4, AJ.
Number 4. What is the move that those of us with little brothers? What is the move?
Spear.
That's violent.
That's what I would do, or chokeslam.
Kick him in the face. Well, the move that I did on my brother the most, the Macho Man elbow. Like, of course, the Macho Man elbow.
Yeah.
Well, my little brother's 5 years younger than me, so I was able to pick him up with a chokeslam.
See, my little brother's 5 years. No, he's 4.5 years younger than me, and he's also way bigger than me now. But I mean, obviously, you guys have seen my brother.
Well, you didn't let me answer the question. I threw my brother through a glass window. That's what I did when I was little. I don't know about you guys.
Now you're cursed with no hair.
Right. Yeah.
The owner of the barber shop put like an Alexa Bliss voodoo curse on you.
Matt the Barber Hardy was his name.
Wait, what's my excuse then? I didn't put anyone through barbershop windows.
He just meant to be.
You like pancakes?
I do like pancakes. I don't like the Swanton Bomb, so the squirrels outside of my house keep cursing me. But anyways, it's the Macho Man elbow. It's the best top rope elbow. CM Punk almost does it justice, but not really. It's the only thing that pissed me off about it is when he did 5 of them on the Ultimate Warrior. I didn't like that so much because it made it look like a joke move. But yeah, I mean that's the move that I did the most. Like I wanted to jump off things and do an elbow onto things. That was like 90% of my childhood was jumping off things and doing elbows onto people. So that's why I love it so much.
My number 4 goes back to the 80s of the Rock and Roll Express.
Mm.
You know, their famous finisher was not one drop kick, but 2 drop kicks. The double drop kick
Hell
from
yeah.
Ricky and Robert, my favorite, because as a child, you know, when they grabbed the opponents on both sides, slung them up against the ropes, and then Irish whip against the ropes, and they came off. I knew a double drop kick was coming. Always popped me hard. That was the end of the match. You know, these guys were over as over can get, man. And
It always got me hard too.
it was always exciting and cool to see the double drop kick. Very simple, but an awesome finisher. All right, let's get to a top 3 here.
Wait, really quick. That was like around the time when like a body slam was like a finisher, wasn't it? Like, didn't they have like just the simplest moves ever to
body
finish
slam? I don't think
matches and
was
stuff?
ever a finisher. Not that I can ever remember, but I mean, they did have I remember like a release body slam being like a finisher, you know, with the press and all that stuff. So
a simpler time.
Luthez press. Danhausen, what's your number 3, sir?
My number 3 is actually a current finisher. I really enjoy watching this be performed. It's the One Week in Angel by Kenny Omega.
Yeah, that's fine.
Nice.
That's fine. I do love him.
I just
Why?
like it. It looks kind of complex, but it also looks like it's gonna kill the dude.
Yeah,
Sure.
It's one of those moves that actually looks rough to take.
Yeah, it's kind of like the AJ Styles Clash. You don't tuck.
I
your
do
chin,
like
you
Styles
are in
Clash.
trouble.
Almost made my list.
You are in
Yeah, mine
trouble
too.
if you don't tuck your chin on that one on those moves.
I do like the One Ring in Asia. I like how, because it is a complicated setup for it too. Like it's like 5 different steps to set it up.
Yep.
And no one kicks out of it. It was great.
AJ, you got number 3.
Number 3. Little, GTS, the Go to Sleep. I loved it.
Boom.
When Punk had his first run, because for some reason I'm surprised there's not more knee strikes on my list of finishers. At one point, I was considering like 4 of them, meaning like the Daniel Bryan's running knee. I even thought about Seth Rollins' ripcord knee, which he used for like 8 seconds.
You can't
I
see
think,
me.
I think knee strikes are just cool looking, and this one's like a super knee strike. You know, it has like the up on the shoulders, and then boom, and then people they go to sleep. So it's awesome. I love it, and now that it's back, I love it even more. Like I just
V-trigger.
I love the V trigger, but it's not a finishing move.
Do you like it better when CM Punk does it or when Kenta does it?
When Kenta does it. I mean, I love CM Punk, but Kenta does it better.
I've always liked Punk's better, just preference. Although I've never, on the side note, I've never been a Kenta fan. It's just one of those guys I haven't got. Respect the hell out of him, his wrestling stuff, but yeah, I like Punk better. All right, for me, number 3, I'm going to throw it back old school again. This was a very dangerous finisher back in the day. I would have to think if you were a talent enhancement and you looked on the card for that day and you were wrestling the Road Warriors, you probably got a little nervous because the Doomsday Device.
Oh, damn. I didn't know we were doing tag team moves.
They're finishing moves.
Yeah,
it's true.
But, yeah, just, Animal would put the opponent up on his shoulders, and Hawk would then execute a clothesline from off of his Animal's shoulders. Very dangerous. Usually the guy would flip, land on his head. Yeah, they ended up kind of doing like a softer version of it later, where Animal would kind of fall backwards.
Go back.
Yeah, would fall backwards, and they would just kind of come down because some guys were getting hurt, and they were rough anyway, and then their finisher was very dangerous on top of it. So, for me, Road Warriors at number 3. Primo, top 2.
Number 2 for me.
Number 2.
So nowadays, you get all of these super athletes that are doing all kinds of flippy shit. And I love to watch it, right?
Hell yeah.
But as a kid watching WCW at the time, when Billy Kidman would hit a shooting star press, it was one of the most beautiful moves.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's my number 2 is the shooting star press. to this day, watching Billy Kidman do it, Evan Bourne, or Matt Sydal do
Matt
it.
Sydal.
Yeah. And to watch any of them do it I love that move still, even though now they have like the 720 or the freaking whatever Black Arrow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool too.
Grabbing the ankles,
right?
Yeah. But it's a beautiful shooting star press. It's wrestling beauty, man. It's
very
Brock tried to do it and almost broke his neck.
Yeah, except for when Brock tries to do it. He looked like a fat frog, like because his form was like all four of his limbs were like meh. And so he just looked awkward, and then he landed on his head. But I agree, it's one of the most graceful moves that a wrestler can do.
It is. Very, very nice, cool move. AJ, you got number 2.
Well, no, I'm mad that wasn't on mine. Number 2, speaking of knee strikes, it was, I can't remember what it was called in Japan. I think it was the Bumbaye in Japan, and it's the Kinshasa by...
Kinshasa!
And it's one of those moves they changed when they got over here, because Bumbaye means kill him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like knee strikes. I think they're very brutal looking, and they're just cool looking. And like I love Shinsuke's because it's like a knee strike that's not a knee strike, but it's stiff but not stiff. I don't know, and it's one of those moves that no one kicks out of.
Right.
Either.
Yep.
And because I like Shinsuke so much, obviously, so I had to put the Kinshasa on there. Another knee strike. So I guess I only have 2 knee strikes going forward. So yep, that's my number 2.
All right, for me at number 2, legendary move by a legendary wrestler. He's not. Everybody's not very happy with him in the headlines right now, but we'll throw all that out. Finishing move number 2 by my greatest favorite wrestler of all time, the figure 4 leg lock, the tap out of Ric Flair's specialty. When Rick locked that in, man, most of the time it was game over. Unless somebody rolled him over or got the old eye poke, there was ways out of it. But, the Roddy Piper. Yes, and then the figure 4 too is another one of those things you put on your brother whenever you were as young.
I
you
did.
watched and figured out how to put it on. So, figure 4 for me coming in at number 2.
Yeah, it was always nice when the Miz did it.
Yeah, that was cool too.
Yeah, I liked it when the Miz did it. I thought it was cool.
And plus, too, I feel like now
I like the figure 8 too.
Anytime anybody does the figure 4, you hear a woo. It's a tribute move. It's inspired a little bit.
It's kind of synonymous with Ric Flair,
like the chop.
Nobody says Bret Hart when they do the sharpshooter.
right. Or nobody says leg drop. Oh,
leg
drop.
Leg drop. All right, Primo.
Or Malenko when they do the clever leaf.
Let's get to our number 1 here. Start at 5. Bring us to 1.
Number 5, Swanton Bomb. 4, Rock Bottom. 3, One-Winged Angel. 2, Shooting Star Press. Number 1, is my favorite move. Whether you look at it now or you look at it then, I rather enjoy the RKO and the Diamond Cutter. Either way, I love the whole thing. First of all, I'm a big fan of DDP, one of my favorite WCW wrestlers.
Hey!
But RKO or Diamond Cutter, maybe even the Ace Crusher. So,
sure.
But any of those variations, especially the RKO, just that he can do it like we talked about earlier, the out of nowhere of it, and I like, and that kind of out of nowhere stuff started with DDP.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Like it can happen out of nowhere, so that's why you're kind of watching. It's like I said, it's a very anticipated move, like the Stunner was. You know what I mean? Like people clamor for it. AJ, top 5.
5, DDT, Jake the Snake Roberts. 4, the Macho Man Elbow. Thank you. We didn't have any Macho Man impressions yet. So number 3, the Go to Sleep by CM Punk. Number 2, Kinshasa Shinsuke Nakamura.
Kinshasa!
And the number 1, speaking of people yelling Bret Hart in the crowd whenever this move is put on, it's the Sharpshooter and / the Scorpion Deathlock. Although I include both of those, I think Bret did it better because he could do it. He could maneuver into it from different positions. They would both people would be like Bret Hart and whoever he was fighting would be laying on the mat, and he would like tie their legs up while still on his back, and like turn him over and put it into into the sharpshooter. And it was one of those moves that looked legitimately painful. Same thing when Sting did it, because Sting like lifted the legs up higher and sat down lower, so it kind of looked a little more like a scorpion. Yeah. So it looked rough, and anytime either of those guys hit that move, I was like going nuts, because, you know, as I've said before, those are two of my favorite wrestlers of all time. So sharpshooter / scorpion deathlock / the Malenko Texas Cloverleaf. We'll throw it in there. Yep. Why not? We'll give Dean Malenko a bone.
All right, let me get to my top 5. Stone Cold Stunner at 5, the double drop kick from the Rock and Roll Express at 4, the Doomsday Device from the Warriors at 3, Figure 4 from Flair at 2. My number 1, now, I love this move. It originated in the Indies a long time ago, originated in tag team wrestling. It's got a couple different adaptations of it now. It takes 2 to tango on this move. I think it's right up there with the Shooting Star Press. It's like one of the kind of like, you know, the most beautiful moves, man. The Spanish Fly.
Yeah.
Is the smoothest, coolest. Like I felt like, you know, if you can do that, you does a forward flip and they're interlocked by their shoulders. Just absolute beautiful move. I've always loved it, man. You know, not many people use it as a finisher. When it used to be as
Hogan leg drop.
The jack.
Yes, man. That's why I
top rope.
Or RV well too.
Yeah.
Couple more here. Tombstone pile driver, the pedigree, the spear.
Curb stomp?
Yeah.
That almost went on my list. Another one I really want to point out, it's a more vintage move, is the Acai DDT by Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah.
Cool,
Primo, right. Who are some of the tag team ones that you would put on there?
I like 3D.
Yeah, I do like 3D too.
That was the main one I immediately thought of a tag team.
Didn't the Steiners do like a on the shoulder bulldog?
Electric chair? No, yeah, that's
electric chair. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right, let's move on, boys. That is our dropkick discussion. Next week is our final dropkick discussion for a while, as we got a new format we're going to try for the month of October, as we're going to be covering the Halloween Havoc pay-per-views.
We're coloring.
So those should be
recoloring with crayons.
Let's get to it. It's squared circle questions time. AJ versus myself. Primo's going to read the questions here. We got 3 categories: wrestler, pay-per-view, and wrestling potpourri here. Danhausen's getting choked.
Danhausen's drowning. He's drowning.
So 3 questions. See who gets the most questions right here. I believe AJ is still technically the champ. So AJ,
goddamn right I am.
Why don't you pick the category to get us started, sir?
Hardest one as always, pay-per-view.
Let's go.
So I can miss it right off the bat.
I actually went with a fairly easy pay-per-view. So
see, you
no
say
help
that
from the chat, please.
No help from the chat.
Again, help me.
I almost said the title immediately.
No help from Primo.
All right. This event emanated from the Miami Gardens, Florida at the Sun Life Stadium. The opening matchup was Primo and Epico defeating Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd and the Usos in a triple threat tag team match for the tag titles. Sheamus defeated Daniel Bryan for the World Heavyweight Championship. Kane,
like a really fast match too.
Kane defeated. You might say it was 18 seconds.
AJ Lee was with Daniel Bryan.
That's right. So far, you're on track.
I know.
Kane
I'm just trying to
defeats
think of that.
Randy Orton. I don't even remember this feud. Big Show defeats Cody Rhodes in an Intercontinental Championship match. Kelly and Maria Menounos defeat Beth Phoenix and Eve Torres. I saw a wrestling trivia today that was, who is the only wrestler with a first and last name that are the same?
Kelly.
The Undertaker defeats
Hogan.
The Undertaker defeats Triple H inside of Hell in a Cell with Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee. Team Johnny, which consists of David Otunga, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Jack Swagger, Mark Henry, and The Miz, defeats Team Teddy, which consists of Booker T, Kofi Kingston, Great Khali, R-Truth, Santino Marella, and Zack Ryder. real winner of a matchup.
I'm going to say 2012 Extreme Rules.
CM Punk defeats Chris Jericho to retain the WWE Championship, and your main event, you should have waited to the main event.
Is it obvious?
The main event, The Rock defeats John Cena in the main event.
That was the second Mania. I don't know. WrestleMania 29.
28, brother.
I think that might be close enough.
29 was when John Cena won.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to remember who won first because they did the whole year feud. All right.
Oh my God, I'm dumb. Of course, Daniel Bryan lost to Sheamus at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that was
That's right.
What the fuck is wrong?
It was a bro kick, and that was
he turned around and kissed AJ, and then turned back.
God damn it!
All right,
that was dumb.
Was that a no point or is that a point?
I think Dirty got close enough.
We'll see. We'll see how
these other two questions go.
All right, next category.
Let's do wrestler.
All right. This wrestler was born on December 23rd, 1976 in West Virginia. West by God, Virginia.
My God.
Country roads. All right. Trained by Dean Malenko. Billed at 5'9", 202 pounds. His real name is James Gibson. He debuted in 1995 on the Indies. Made his debut in 1999 in WCW.
What year? 1999?
In WCW. And he debuted in WWE on SmackDown in 2002. He wrestled in the Cruiserweight division in both companies. He was in an angle, might as well hear them all at this point.
Yeah.
He was in an angle where his valet was blinded by Tajiri's Black Mist.
Oh.
He won. There, you got it then? Yeah. He won the Cruiserweight Championship by defeating the Hurricane and held the title for 147 days. His valet was Nydia. He was recently a henchman for a very popular current superstar, being one half of J&J Security.
Oh, shit, I can't think of his name.
Joey Mercury?
God damn it.
If you don't get the name, you don't win. But that was all of my things.
I can't think of his name.
He wore jean shorts.
Yes, he did.
He had a white trash.
Put him on a timer. Put him on a timer.
Yeah, I'll give you 5, 4,
fucking
3.
Shit.
2,
what's his Steven Jean Shorts?
Jimmy Wang Yang?
No,
Yes.
It was Jamie Noble.
Jamie, God.
Also, there is one more fact, but you wouldn't have known this. I just wanted to tell you guys this. Because he was the henchman in like 2015, 2016 timeframe.
Yes.
On September 28th, 2016, he was stabbed twice outside of his West Virginia residence after an alleged dispute with a driver. On October 5th, he was revealed that he had a collapsed lung from the stabbing.
Yeah, see, if you would have said that, it would have been like, excuse me, Jamie.
Jamie Noble.
All right, winner take all, wrestling potpourri. Let's go.
God damn.
I have a backup question for potpourri if y'all don't get the first one, by the way.
Okay, good.
Which the first one's easier than the second. Oh, actually a 3. I forgot about this other one. This was not a real question. But how many crosses could Karrion Kross cross if Karrion Kross could cross across?
Sex nipples.
We'll say 1.
What? All right, no, for real. Who was the final WWE Hardcore Champion?
WWE Hardcore Champion.
The last one. Write your answer down.
I mean,
I think I'm ready.
All right,
I'm ready.
I think mine's wrong, but we'll go.
I think mine's wrong too, but
okay.
Yeah, it might be a better guess than mine.
Okay, you are both in a different era.
Okay.
It was RVD.
It was RVD. Yeah, we go back quick enough.
So not Crash Holly.
So my guess was Crash Holly. AJ's guess was
he unified it with the Intercontinental Championship. Also, I heard, speaking of Steve Blackman, I heard JBL tried to pick a fight with him, and Steve Blackman legit almost whipped his ass because he's a real badass.
Yeah, Steve Blackman is one of those actual guys.
Yeah,
that...
like Ken Shamrock.
Yes.
My other potpourri question is, how many? You won't get this one. First one without going over.
Okay.
How many successful Money in the Bank cash-ins have there been?
Successful?
Successful male Money in the Bank cash-ins.
All right, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Wow.
Oh!
Well,
I said 14. AJ said 13.
it was 18, so Dirty gets it.
Yes! Yes! Fuck you!
Yeah.
I win.
There's
Finally
been
gets the title.
Yeah, there were 4 that didn't get it. There was
There's 4?
Damian Sandow, Corbett, John
Corbin.
Cena, and
John Cena?
Yeah, he cashed in and was unsuccessful. Also, I don't remember what the circumstances was. Damian Sandow was an idiot. He was like, "We're gonna have a match, John Cena, next week."
Oh yeah. Yep. And then Corbin got basically fucked over because some backstage thing.
Right.
And then The Miz
took Otis's.
Yeah, took Otis's. And...
That was fun. Appreciate that, Primo. That was really fun here. Let's get to the rest of the show.
That was not fun.
As you've heard here, me and AJ are meeting Adam Houston, who has been on the podcast here down in Granite City, Illinois this Saturday for St. Louis Anarchy, which is the card is called Wartime. Looks like we got about 8 or 9 matches here with the main event being the champion, Jeremy Wyatt, will put up the Gateway Heritage title against Daniel Makabe here.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it's going to be awesome. We are sitting front row for this. Let me run this card down to you here. Local guy Craig Mitchell will wrestle Kenny Alfonso. That will be sneaky good. We got a rematch of Davey Richards versus Everett Connors. Tessie's in the world is horse. So congratulations, Matt Fitchett, by the way, too. Brand new dad.
Congratulations, Matt.
Ricky Shane Page, a GCW kind of deathmatch guy, is going to wrestle the local legend of Gary J. So that'll be awesome. Also, Kevin Lee Davidson is wrestling Calvin Tankman, which will be a big hoss fight, man. Looking forward to that one. Our boy Big Beef is in a triple tag team triples match, a thruple, I guess you'd say.
Triple!
Bastard Cassidy and Christian Rose is going to wrestle the family, which has one of my favorite wrestlers on the indies, Dirty Jake Durden. So we'll get to see that match.
Dirty Jake Durden. I've never heard
Looking
of him
forward to getting up with Beef. He's going to be wearing the Sit Down Marks shirt coming to the ring. So make sure you check that out. And then what can we say, man? This main event, AJ, holy shit.
Can't wait.
Makabe Wyatt, man, this is going to be good stuff, man.
It's going to be so awesome. We're going to be sitting front row.
Golly.
Primo, sorry you're going to be wasting away on the East Coast like a schmuck.
When is this, Friday?
Friday, yeah.
Friday
Where
night.
will I be? I'll be at home watching Rampage.
Granite City, Illinois, and Eastern St. Louis.
I mean, all I'm saying, it is like an 8-hour drive, Primo. I mean, you could make it to St. Louis.
I'm actually off until Monday. I don't work tomorrow.
You have no excuse then. We'll see you outside the venue.
So, man, I'm so looking forward to that trip, man. Me and AJ is going to hit the road Friday, so make sure you check out what happens there this Friday night. Let's get the next thing on the list here, boys. Let's roll down to let's talk about kind of what everybody's been talking about, the plane ride from hell, which was the first episode of the new season of Dark Side of the Ring, which comes on Thursday nights, I believe, on Vice TV.
Yep. I'm excited to see the Canyon episode tomorrow.
Canyon's coming up yet. But for this episode, guys, thoughts?
Well, the main reason I'm excited for the Canyon episode is to wash the taste of this episode out of my mouth. Like this, like everyone's obviously heard about the plane ride from hell, but to hear it told from the people who were on the plane, a lot of people come off looking really, really bad. Like really bad. Except for like one of the, like RVD, it doesn't look like a total asshole.
Yeah.
Also, PJ Polanco, like from
incredible, yeah.
Yeah, just incredible. He comes off not looking too bad, but I mean, obviously, you heard about Tommy Dreamer getting suspended.
Yeah.
And Mike Chioda. Can we talk about Mike Chioda for a second?
Wow,
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we love hearing this show or the stories of this show, but then again, we don't love it because it leaves a little bit of a black eye.
Yeah, it kind of. I was thinking about that earlier. Like, it's one of those things. Like, you don't want to meet your heroes,
Yeah.
Sure.
and that because it's like all these guys that we look up to, it turned out to be complete fucking scumbags.
Yeah, like just
Sure.
a bag of dick. Like, especially again, like this is allegedly, like, but like
Right.
Scott Hall, like in a drug-induced stupor, trying to like rip that girl's shirt off. Oh, spoiler alert, by the way, if you guys haven't watched it yet out there
Or read the news by now.
Yeah,
Yes.
it can be a little disturbing. Yeah.
and Ric Flair, like, yikes! I mean, he's released 2 statements now where he's been like, I don't condone that behavior. I mean, obviously that was something that I used to do because of stupidity and drunkenness, blah 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 blah.
A lot of people are pissed that some of the boys are writing it off as well. That's what happened back.
Yeah, and that was another thing too. They're like, this is just us being wrestlers. It's what we do. This is back in the day. This was the culture,
Sure.
But it's not okay.
No, it's not.
Yeah, like how many times we heard the story of how large Flair's endowment,
his Huang,
and
So I
open robe story.
did not ever know this actual story, right?
Oh yeah.
And I have seen Hills, the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
The guy on Hills gets fired because he does a naked robe thing on the plane.
The helicopter.
Yes.
So someone had some inside information.
And this is before Dark Side of the Ring.
There's a couple of, like, we found out about Brock Lesnar, like, just
and Kurt.
Yeah.
Pig.
Like,
and
so
then,
many people on the plane. It's like, wow. Vince, Linda, and
like, it tells you what time frame it was for sure. It was what, 2002?
2002.
Michael Hayes, the ponytail.
Oh God!
And then the story about Brock showing his doodle to Terry Runnels in the locker room.
Oh, and they're just supposed to, like, don't sell it.
Yeah, don't sell it. Like, no sell it. Like, it's like, holy fucking
no, that's
shit.
not okay.
Right.
It was one thing after another, and I was like, okay, can you guys, like, tone it? Okay, maybe that's the worst of it. No, drunken.
I mean, RVD was straightforward when he was like, yeah, these dudes, they used to drug chicks.
Yeah, they used to drug girls and
like,
have their
he
way
came
with
straight
them.
out and, like, told her, he's like, yeah, they're assholes.
And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, that used to be like,
and that was normal.
Yeah, accepted behavior within.
They would just Bill Cosby everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, wild episode next
Oh,
week
my
is
God.
about Canyon, as he was one of the first gay wrestlers, or in the closet to kind of come out later. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, like I said, we love hearing these stories, but it's a double-edged sword, man. It's black eyes on the business that we love and our heroes, and I mean, Flair's, he's my favorite wrestler of all time, and and I watch his show and I'm like, man.
I was really, really wondering what you thought about that after I saw it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like one of those things of you know that stuff happened, a lot back then, we just hate to hear the actual stories of.
I would just hope that as time went on and as he's had a daughter, that things have changed.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So my brother and I were talking about this, and so do you think that anything will come back on Charlotte Flair just because her last name is Flair, and WWE might be wanting to distance itself
did you
from
see
the
that
name?
they already changed the opener?
I did not see that.
Flair's been removed. He was replaced by Ultimate Warrior.
He got Hoganed. Like he has been blacklisted by.
Yeah, they replaced the woo in his little thing with the robe with Ultimate Warrior.
How quick did have they done that though?
Last night was the first time I remember seeing it.
Okay, yeah.
They aired
showed up on NWA before now.
Yeah, they aired Dark Side on Thursday, and last night was NXT was when I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So do you think there's any blowback on Charlotte just because her last name's Flair?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
let it ride. I mean, Rick's. There's a shit ton of stories out there about Rick. He gets in trouble in the. I mean, I know this is Charlotte, but I don't see him dropping the Flair name from her.
Well, I mean, plus if you think about it, like look at Tamina. Like her dad was
A murderer?
Jimmy Snuka, a murderer. Like he legitimately murdered someone. So apparently WWE does not.
And she could still do the thing.
Oh my God! You would think that he'd be like, okay, no, the guy who did that murdered a girl. Like, stop doing that.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty wild. Hopefully these episodes get
Happier? Jesus Christ!
a little more positive light on what they are.
It's
But
dark side.
dark
Yeah,
side
I
of the
know.
ring, right? So I think there's probably a reason why that one was the first one. Of the
Yeah,
season,
Jesus,
you know what
to
I mean?
get it out of the
Pretty
way.
controversial, and I bet some of these guys had their assholes drawn up of when it was going to be released. So
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and so I saw this thing on Squared Circle because they were just bashing this to death. Like they were just shitting on everything, like shitting on Tommy Dreamer because he's like saying how think anybody's you're gonna believe a guy with like two ponytails or whatever he said. He's talking about his stupid two ponytails, but anyway,
Yeah.
and how he was so adamantly dismissing the whole thing.
Yes.
But they were saying that now they just kind of hope that Tommy Dreamer is on every episode saying something dumber and dumber and dumber.
I really hope he is actually, just so it can be Tommy Dreamer. Like,
I mean, this might end up hurting him. You know what I'm saying? Like
it already has.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying in the long run too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Which I think it should. Like, fuck you, Tommy Dreamer.
I mean,
like,
yeah,
how
it's not,
dare
it's
you?
not okay.
He sat on the fence, and everybody didn't like it. You know, if had he been, a little more sympathetic as to her story,
I think he was pretty aggressive with how he defended Flair.
Yeah, he was almost apologetic about Flair.
Right.
Or apologetic in defending Flair and be like, oh, it's just something that he did. Like, there's no proof. Like,
right, yeah, there's a lot. Like he dismisses a lot of stories out there like that.
Yes,
just
that's what bothers me the most about it is that he was very dismissive of this
and
thing.
It affects people, a lot of women and men out there that when they speak up.
Yeah,
I mean, and then look at Terry Reynolds when they were like, no, sell it after Brock was shaking his doodle in front of her.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's, especially, like I said, we hope that everything is changed. He's not that person, but, I mean, we hate, to see this kind of stuff happen and, that these stories kind of get swept under the rug a lot of times. So hopefully, this will bring more light into that situation and
people stop being assholes.
People stop being assholes.
That would be nice.
That would be good.
Move on, boys, to some current wrestling here. Primo's going to read the Extreme Rules card so far here. We're going to quickly just talk about each match and go through it here as it is on Peacock TV.
Peacock.
WWE Extreme Rules.
Let's get down to it, boys.
Peacock.
First of all, we have a meaningless match between. No, it's not meaningless, but it's like Liv Morgan versus Carmella.
Yes, Liv Morgan.
Who you got? You got Liv Morgan, obviously, right?
Starting the push of the Liv Morgan era.
Right.
I don't even know.
SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Usos versus Street Profits.
I love the Street Profits, and they're going to lose.
Yeah, I like the Street Profits as well, but I also like We the Ones.
Staying on top.
Yeah.
Since day one.
That's right. I hope the Usos don't live. Wow.
Whoa!
I am going to murder the Usos.
Dark side of sit down marks.
Well, maybe they should stop calling each other Us so much.
Us.
Right.
That's the one thing I hate about them. What's up, Us? Hi, Us.
Yo.
You're Us. I'm Us.
It's just how they
Shut
talk.
up.
I can't
Like
talk.
man,
I can't
bruh.
bash their culture.
Man, bruh, or man.
I don't think it's their culture. I just think they do it.
You think it's just them?
Yes.
I've heard Rikishi do it too.
No one listens to what Rikishi says.
U.S. Championship match between Damian Priest, the charismatic Enigma Jeff Hardy, and the Celtic Warrior Sheamus.
Priest retains.
Oh yeah, he hasn't been so bad lately to me. Mainly because he's been working with Sheamus, and I like Sheamus.
I do like Sheamus.
Yeah. So yeah, Priest retains.
SmackDown Women's Championship between the Man Becky Lynch versus the EST of the WWE Bianca Belair.
We know what's happening here.
Becky Lynch. It's
know.
obviously
Yeah,
Becky
clearly
Lynch.
Becky keeps the title.
Yes. Sure. Do you think it won't be another squash match though?
No, they'll actually wrestle, but it'll be a chicken shit finish.
Yeah. Just to push her as a heel, which I still don't get, but sure.
Yeah. Was she wearing like a Kill Bill outfit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the yellow get up. Yeah. I liked it.
Raw Women's Championship, the Queen Charlotte Flair versus they called her the Twisted Goddess, Alexa Bliss.
Oh God.
What scares me about this match? I don't know.
I have a feeling,
Yes, I do too. I don't, I always pick Charlotte no matter what, but I don't know. I feel like a dumb title switch might happen here.
Alexa is starting to get over.
Yeah,
again.
But
she's been over, but
I also read that people were walking out of the arena during the segment between the two at the end of Raw. They got kind of real. So I don't know. I'm gonna say Charlotte just because this.
They did kind of real. We didn't talk about that much, but we were talking about. She said something to Charlotte. I don't remember what it was, but then Charlotte turned around her and it's like, talk about stealing gimmicks.
Right? Yeah.
Oops.
All right.
In final match, Universal Championship match between Roman Reigns versus the Demon Finn Balor.
AJ, what's happening? What's happening?
Is the Demon gonna win, AJ?
No. No, he's not. But I do think it'll be Roman's biggest challenge yet. But Roman, of course, Roman's not losing. So
I coup de grace for the win.
Now here is something I want to say.
To the abdomen.
I got these matches directly.
Squishes his tummy.
This Extreme Rules card directly from WWE.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Extreme Rules 2021. Not a single match has a stipulation.
But it's extreme rules.
I know.
They
to be
maybe
extreme rules.
So every match is Extreme Rules automatically?
What TLC? It's just Extreme Rules.
So every match
they can use weapons. Like usually they would pick the main events.
Maybe Extreme Rules this year, the Extreme Rules means that they strictly adhere to the rules.
They're extreme about the rules.
Yes, they're extreme about following the rules.
Right,
I don't know. That's fucking stupid.
What do you think, guys? You guys feel like we are in a wrestling revolution because we kind of got, like a reboot with the WWE a little bit. We got the AEW like on fire right now. Bryan versus Omega tonight. Are we seeing a little bit of a revolution, or is just the needle kind of moving?
I think it is a wonderful time to be a wrestling fan.
As do I. And I'm still very nervous about NXT 2.0. It could be awesome, and then it could just be a Vince McMahon vanity project like the WBF or something along those lines.
Sure.
I'm nervous about it, but it might be awesome, so I don't know. Apart from that, Roman Reigns and Big E being your faces of WWE is fantastic. And then AEW is just outstanding. So, yeah. Even Impact's good now, even though it sucks that Sammy Callahan got hurt.
Yeah, it does suck big time, man. So I did see the WWE for sale rumors are still kind of hanging around out there. Would that make sense right now if they sold?
No.
I mean, I think so. Because
would it surprise you? I guess the question. Would it surprise you? Now.
No. It wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, especially after Vince McMahon keeps losing money after every single thing that he does. And
I just feel like he likes to win too much, though.
But he's losing.
Like he wants the competition.
It could. I don't know. This is the way that WWF, WWE has been Vince McMahon my entire life. So.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of hard for me to see it something else.
Who would even take over? Like if Vince McMahon?
The intellectual property of WWE is so much bigger than just what we see on TV.
This is true. It's not just a wrestling show. Like it's obviously
they're global.
It's a conglomerate.
Right.
Yeah.
They are. All right, well.
A conglomerate. I don't like that they go to Saudi Arabia. That bothers. I mean, I know they make just a shit ton of money from it, but those shows are like, they're always, everyone they've had over there is awful, and I wish they would.
Was it Levi Cooper told us that story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About being in Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Go check out that episode. It is available now. Just a couple episodes ago, Levi Cooper, one half of the tag team of Heavy Machinery, episode 27. Got some good stories there. All right, let's finish up the show here, boys. I want to thank Coastland for sponsoring the show. Go to Coastland Apparel. Use promo code BirdTV for 15% off. Primo, tell me, where can you get the Sit Down Marks podcasts?
Well, you...
Sorry.
You can get the Sit Down Marks podcast. What? You messed me up, Andrew. You can get the Sit Down Marks podcast on, obviously, Twitch, but you can also get it on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Amazon Prime Music, Audible, and also on SportsWire live on Friday nights between 6:15 and 6:45, depending on how long we feel like talking. And that's right before the Thomas Bryce Show, the number one.
Number one.
That's right.
I still haven't mastered my Thomas impression yet, so I'm going to hold off on doing it for a while. I need to practice some more.
Last few notes here. Let's talk about it. I mean, this is a super big match tonight. Kenny Omega versus Daniel Bryan. It's going on tonight on AEW Dynamite. What's your expectations? Real quick. Do you see a long feud? Do you see a quick title change? AJ first.
No title change. I think that Bryan Danielson.
I did that last week, and I was cringing when I heard myself.
I think that Bryan Danielson gets the win tonight. I think it's going to be a shenanigans kind of win. But I do think, like we were talking before, I think it'll be a 15-minute awesome dream wrestling match before the shenanigans happen, and I think I see the feud continuing. And that's just me being Super Mark, hoping that the feud is going to continue, because I want to watch this for the next 5 months, 6 months. I don't care. I want a nice slow build to everything, and then Bryan Danielson takes the title from Omega. That's what I want.
Danhausen, what about you?
I think that I obviously do want an electric match. I want it to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. I mean, think about the talent. But as far as a title match goes, I don't want to see Daniel Bryan get that championship anytime soon.
Bryan Danielson.
Motherfucker.
We'll get it. We'll get to there. It's hard.
Bryan Danielson.
Get that. Rework.
You got to reprogram me.
I know, I do.
Anyway, I don't want to see him get the championship anytime soon because it will mess up the way that they do things in AEW. They have a way that they do things. They even made Christian Cage sit through the ringer. He had to be undefeated for so long before he was even considered in the match.
It's a good point.
They have a structure.
Okay.
You know, they have a ranking structure, and wins and losses do matter.
Okay.
So I do think it'll build a non-title rivalry.
Yes.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna go kind of against the grain here a little bit. You know, I think Bryan Danielson.
Bryan Danielson.
I stopped myself. Said it right. Bryan Danielson is that big enough of talent. He's that big enough of a name. I think they're going to put the belt on him here pretty soon. I'm not saying the next week or two, but I think Daniel's going to be the champion. I think it would be fun to watch have a babyfaces champ watch the Bullet Club the Elite chase for a while. I think it would be very interesting. But I'm not against a long feud. I just think we might see a quick title change.
Yeah, I just think that if it isn't after at least about 10, 15, 20 matches and like a winning record or a positive record, then they're setting a bad precedent.
Plus, I don't think that Omega, like, how many belts does he still have?
AAA.
He still has the AAA, the AEW.
And AEW.
Yeah. Those are the only two he has left?
2 now. Yeah.
Okay, so I can see him dropping the AAA belt before he drops his final title. Like, I think when he finally does drop the belt, that'll be his last title that he drops. So he'll be titleless after that.
All right, boys. Next question for you. You're going to the internet right now. Which wrestler's T-shirt are you buying right now? Any wrestler in the world, AJ? Who's you buying right now?
The one that I just bought
Even if you
today.
don't have one,
Daniel Makabe. I just bought one today. I wish I would have purchased it last week, but I totally forgot to do it because I want to wear it to the show on Friday. But yeah, so Daniel Makabe. Otherwise,
I'm gonna answer before Primo does. I'm going CM Punk. I think he's the hottest thing in wrestling right now. I'm going CM Punk. Primo, who you buying?
I mean, I was shopping on Pro Wrestling Tees the other day and almost bought an LWO shirt, but I'm right now. I'm a big fan of Adam Cole, baby.
Yep. Well, I want to say, like, instead of saying like who's the hottest wrestler, like who makes you want to go buy their shirt right now? You know what I mean?
Right. I would wear his shirt definitely right now.
I would buy a CM Punk shirt, but I already have a CM.
I do like that CM Punk shirt too.
Yeah.
AJ, talk to us. What's happening next week on the pod?
Next week,
Episode
after
number
we
30.
get back. Yeah, the big 3-0. Look at us.
3-0.
We're slowly entering into middle age. Because I'm considering 30 middle aged now. Dirty. 30 is middle aged.
So I'm middle aged?
Yes. And
30 episode next week.
And Dirty is way over the hill. Back. So next week, episode 30.
Did you say Danhausen won't be back?
A new version of Danhausen will be back.
Now bring Danhausen in. I don't like this prick that's got the old man jokes tonight. Who is it?
What's that, Sonny? Since we're like essentially the same. So next week we will have Mr. Adam Warwig on. If you want to follow him on Twitter, by the way, that is at Warwig, WARWIG at Warwig.
My buddy Friday, love watching wrestling with Adam.
Yeah, so he will be at the St. Louis Anarchist show with us on Friday. We'll go over all those results and reactions and all that good stuff.
Yes.
Also, next week will be, as Dirty said earlier, our final top 5 dropkick discussion for a good while because we're going to be switching into spooky season mode and we're going to be doing the Halloween Havocs, which will be a lot of fun. Also, all the news and updates and recaps and wrestling giblets that you tune in to hear us rant on and on about. So, yeah, that's what's going on next week as far as I know.
Sounds great. All right, let's get to what's going on this weekend. UFC, we got a big card. What we got this weekend is Team Volkanovski versus Team Ortega, the final blow-off between Brian Ortega and Volkanovski for the middleweight championship, I believe they're well,
yeah,
right?
I think it's not either of those.
It's not okay.
I'm also not going to correct you because I feel like I'm going to be wrong.
Right? Yeah.
It's not either.
Like, I know my boxing belts, but UFC, their weight class is a little bit different. But all right, so we're going to talk about it.
I think it's the lightweight belt, actually.
Lightweight belt. Our boy Brian Battle might be in the crowd.
I'm sorry, featherweight
of the Ultimate Fighter should be in the crowd. All right, what we're going to do here real quick, me and Primo are the UFC guys. But what we're going to do here real quick, we're going to start a running tally and see how AJ does. Now, every UFC pay-per-view has 5 matches. Now, AJ's not a UFC guy, so we're going to make him pick every match by their last name only.
Yes.
A running tally, and I'll let you know each week how he does.
I love this.
Before me and Primo get started, we're going to make AJ pick. All right, AJ, main card. Here we go. Andrade versus Calvillo.
How do you spell that? Calvillo?
Yes.
So, because Andrade is kind of a dandy name, an aristocratic name, we're gonna go with. I'm gonna call him Steve Calvillo. We'll go with him.
That's a women's fight.
So
we're
gonna go with Susan Calvillo.
I just told you to pick fucking last names. I didn't ask you to pick the goddamn names. Look, it's a women's fight here. All right. Now, the rest of them are men. Well, no, they're not. Never mind.
Okay.
Right. Blades versus Rosenstruck.
Rosenstruck, just because it's fun to say.
Here we go. Diaz versus Lawler.
Lawler.
Shevchenko versus Murray.
Shevchenko.
Main event, Volkanovski versus Ortega.
Volkanovski. That
All
one's
right.
easy.
All right. Well,
I don't
looking
know any
forward-
of those people. What was the other women's one?
The Shevchenko and Murray is a women's match.
Yes, Shevchenko.
So UFC this weekend. I'm looking forward to this.
How'd I do?
What do you think about this match here, man? Who you got? Ortega, Volkanovski, real quick.
Oh man, I gotta be honest. Ortega kind of grew on me during Ultimate Fighter, but I have a feeling Volkanovski's gonna retain.
All right, I like that too. I'm going with Team Volk as well. Shevchenko is probably gonna have a big night.
Shevchenko, that's a bad bitch.
What?
She's gonna win that too.
But probably the most intriguing fight on the card is Diaz Lawler.
Absolutely, the return of Nick Diaz.
You pulling for Nick?
I'm pulling for Nick. I'm a Diaz. Shut up, AJ.
What'd you say?
I'm
Nick Diaz
instead of versus Nate. His brother Nate. No, Nick has been out of the UFC for some time. This is him versus Lawler too. Yep. And I am a fan of the Diaz brothers, so I cannot wait to see this.
Who won the first Diaz?
Diaz.
Oh, he did. Shit.
He won the first.
Sticking with my pick.
Yeah, but it's like what, 15 years ago?
Yeah, it's a while back.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. So.
Okay.
That'll be fun this Saturday night. Also, this Saturday, one of my favorite heavyweights on the planet, Anthony Joshua, is fighting. If he wins this match and then Tyson Fury wins, and then they'll have a big unification fight. So looking forward to that. Want to give a big shout out to AJ's favorite wrestler from Chicago, Trevor Outlaw, for the interview. Thank you, sir, to #YoursRudely.
We're all much like his fandom of the Chicago White Sox. We are becoming bandwagon fans of Tyler Outlaw because he's just such a
I think
fun
it's
guy.
Stockholm syndrome.
Very good.
Either way, late birthday to Mr. Trev Timber, Mr. Chicago, Mr. Yours Rudely. Thank you for the interview. Hope to talk to you again soon.
The biggest threat in freelance wrestling.
There you go.
Yes.
There it is right there. So
Happy birthday, you sumbitch.
That's going to do it for episode number 29. Thanks for everybody tuning in. I am the Dirty Bird for Primo and AJ. AJ, take us home, my man.
So, remember, grab them cakes.